to change. Keep it tuned to City. You're number one. Don't look no further. We've got it all covered. City FM.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning to life.
Good morning.
Music, talk, inspiration, in perspective.
Express yourself. Good morning, my neighbor.
City FM, your station.
It's a refreshing lifestyle.
City FM 97.3.
Tena mimfana Yehowa si Woniao Yemamita
Tena mifanshe Yehowa nemu
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City
97.3 Wonia Yemamita Memani Kwachi Kuruwani So Nama Boniti Achama Sena
Meshirani na Medina dansi Wonia Oye mameta
Tena mifana Yehowa Wonia Tena mifana nemu Yehowa nemu Wonia Memani Kwachi say Memani Kwachi Kuruwani Nama Bonitine Achaman Senina Meshira Nisi Medina Dansi
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
It's 29 after 6 Thursday morning, February 20 in the year of our Lord 2025. Good morning to you and welcome to your favorite dial. What shall I render to the Lord for all his goodness unto me? It takes a grateful heart. It takes a reflective mind to ask this question. Reflect on your journey. Look back. See how far you have come. Sometimes the stresses of the day overwhelms you, and the desires of your heart make you easily forget just how far you have come. But it takes a grateful heart to wake up on an early morning, to reflect on all of God's goodness, and ask yourself, what shall I render unto the Lord? This morning is a good question we are asking ourselves. What shall we give back to the Lord for His goodness, for the gift of life? What shall we give back to Him for this land of our birth? What shall we give back for the careers we have? What shall we give back for the talents we have? What shall we give back for the time we've been spared? If this is the question on your mind, I have some suggestions for you. Many have been healed, and this morning they are asking, what shall I give back to the Lord for the healing He's granted me? You know, your words can heal people. As you go about today, consider the words you speak and think that they should heal the people who hear them. Season your words, speak the truth, but apply wisdom. If He has shown you mercy, which is exemption from justice, show mercy to somebody who does not deserve it. If He has protected you and your family, do well to protect what He has entrusted into your hands. And that includes the lands, the trees, the rivers, the water bodies, and the people you come across. He has given you time. Redeem the time. You are a steward, my friend. Good morning. Welcome to your favorite show, 97.3 Citi FM. We call it the Citi Breakfast Show. My name is Caleb Kuda. Some words and reflections to start your day. What are you rendering today? We're here to render service. We'll bring you the newspaper review shortly. We'll bring you information. We'll bring you inspiration. We'll bring you entertainment. We'll bring you relevant conversations that enrich your day. And the newspaper review is up next, brought to you by Total Excellium, Piva Beverages, Fidelity Bank. And have you heard about the incredible benefits of Excellium from Total Energies? I tell you more. Powerful, amazing 3-in-1. Total Energies introduces Excellium new formula, additive and rich fuel. Powerful 3-in-1 action cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption. Now, thanks to the cumulative effect of its anti-corrosion, anti-wear, and detergent additives, Excellium new formula also lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption, reduces CO2 emissions. You will drive, sir. Experience the difference with Total Energies Excellium new formula. Choose Excellium, choose quality. Now, if you're looking for a best of flavor in every sip, discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. We have Piva orange fruit drink, Piva cocktail fruit drink, Piva grapefruit drink, Piva tangy fruit drink. We have them all. So grab yours today. We're available at your local store. Call 0550-032-231. Piva is a taste you will love. Is an advert that's FDA approved. Now, from the dreams of youth to the ambitions of adulthood, wherever you are on your journey, starting a career, building a family, growing a business, planning your future, we are here for your journey. Every goal deserves the chance to flourish. And with hard work, dedication, and strong belief in yourself, the seed of greatness is within your reach. Trust in the journey and understand that Fidelity Bank is with you every step of the way. Together, let's turn your dreams into reality so we can sing Dear Namin from Meradi. We're here for your journey. Believe with us.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink, packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00-322-31. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
Oh, jump on now. Go, the go. Google me. At what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car. Why you buy new car? No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no. Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. The go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
My body, when you wake up in the morning and you know the money calling, oh, you go work, but you know it's out in your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, oh, cause you know it's out in your side. And when you dream, no say I live for you. And when you hustle every day, when you wanna go, anything you do, I live for you. If I believe I live your side, fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I live your side, fidelity.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Aye. Anywhere I go to the where the sign or one thing got me moving on, cause my sorrows will be gone away tomorrow. Whoja got no fear enemy any day, they're gonna do the day. Whoja got no fear enemy any day, they're gonna do the day. Whoja got no fear enemy any day, they're gonna do the day. Whoja got no fear enemy any day, they're gonna do the day. It be the song I they sing where they inspire them. Life I live with they inspire them. In a my thing they put I again. It be the speed that they use where they retire them. I'm on top of me thing, I'm a control. Them they do they pose. I buy them, I get by the primo. Like I run by job energy when I go to the where the sign one thing got me moving.
It's promising to be a great day. We're jumping to the newspaper review shortly. I'm here with the man, Bernardino Koku. I'm like, good morning.
Morning.
Oh my goodness. And we have Godfred Akotobu for sir.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. We jump into the papers, Bernard.
I like the song.
Yeah,
Who Jah bless no the fear. Every time I hear the song,
Who Jah guy no fear enemy any day.
They go do No, it be.
Yeah,
a very good song.
Yeah,
good morning to Stoneboy. And I want to say good morning to EL.
Oh boy. Oh.
Yes, EL.
EL.
Yes, I just want to say good morning to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bikoko. Kalu. Oh,
Let me give you a little known fact about EL.
Okay.
He has the most flexible bones in the history of bones.
In terms of dancing or what?
No, the things he can do with his fingers.
Nobody can.
No. He can bend them in any direction.
Really?
Yeah.
Yesterday he was my desk mate in class 4.
Yesterday,
wow.
Yesterday, EL sent me a video from Dansoman.
What was he doing in Dansoman?
Of the neighbors that the road users now have. And about 12 cows.
So he was tracking the cows.
So he had to move his car for the cows to pass.
He was tracking the cows.
When the cows finished, he said, okay,
his fellow road users.
So we are thinking of what. So please, what should we do with these cows? The cows that have taken over ours.
He should have done his kalu for them.
But somebody gave me a different perspective that I felt gave a lot more nuance to the conversation. The person is saying, we have taken over the spaces belonging to the cows. So where should they go?
That is only true for the outskirts of the city.
No, but you see the Dansoman.
If you see a cow at Adenta
or Abelegbe
or a cow
or in Dansuma,
yes. But if you see I'm saying that the places where we've taken over are the places where they were at the outskirts on the Accra Plains.
Yes.
Ashaiman and those areas. But in Dansoman, that's not their area. Dansoman is for us.
Anyway, front page of the Daily Graphic. Court orders Akwetia MP's arrest. Catholic bishops want government to commit to partnership for education reforms.
All right.
GPCC backs Mahama's lean admin, and by GPCC I mean Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council.
Continue the Ghanaian Times.
The Ghanaian Times says, let's prioritize organic fertilizer in crop production. This is coming from Professor David Miller, president of the Miller Open University. Right. Also on the front page, prove your critics wrong. Ghana Health Service dedicates health desk at regional district hospitals to support persons with disabilities. And Mr. Albert John Foss on the front page of the paper, the president of the GJA, government GJA, to meet over journalist safety. Okay. And then on the front page of the New Republic, Kenzo must go. Pressure mounts on Mahama to remove MPP's Kenzo as VRA CEO. Galamsey boss battles retention after aiding MPP honchos to destroy forest reserves. It's another story that they have. Massive rot at ECG. Ghana education shake-up needed. And then let me take you to the Chronicle and the Daybreak Bernard. The Chronicle this morning says that NDC chairman caught in Galamsey web. There's a big question they are asking. Adamus Resources say he has invaded its concession. Also more Galamsey stories from Evaluate Jura. I'll give you details. Today's Ghanaian Chronicle, the Chronicle is simply going with Galamsey.
A lot of it.
Yes. Now if you go to the front page of the Daybreak newspaper, ex-NSA bosses reject ghost names accusation. Coming up as a story that they are focusing on about massive encroachment of Takrady Air Force Base land. And then finally, from the Daily Post's front page, court convicts wannabe Akwetia MP, orders his arrest, revocation of public sector appointments irreversible.
If you go online, Channel 1 TV also has a lot of Galamsey stories. Yesterday we spoke to the Minister for Environment, Mutala Ibrahim. He says no MP or minister involved in Galamsey will be spared. He also says we are deepening stakeholder engagement on Galamsey. Other stories, Ghana not under military takeover, Baumia condemns Oforiate's raid. He also says to Mahama, reverse unfair revocation of appointments. Then Haruna Mohammed says court prejudge Eneskumi's case. In other stories, passport office to operate 3 shifts under 24-hour system. A Blackwhite announcing this. Meanwhile, Penny Market says will ensure Akwetia MP submits to court ruling. And then Boku conflict hurting revenue mobilization according to PURC. Still on the Galamsey, Obonhu youth are protesting the burning of excavators by the Forestry Commission. Now, CityNewsroom.com also has a number of big ones. Baumia's appeal to Mahama is here. Reverse unfair dismissals protect all Ghanaians. Now, there's a strange little story here. Customs officers open fire on uncustomed vehicle. Engineer injured by stray bullets. We'll give you those details shortly. Court must punish Akwetia MP any day he is arrested. This is Beidou. 70% of Accra's street lights to be fixed in 50 days. Regional Minister reiterates. Yesterday she spoke to the media. She says a 50-day deadline is still on. Meanwhile, Kwachu Fosu says revocation of public sector appointments is irreversible. And then a very troubling statistic. Kofi Boa, Lands Minister, told Parliament yesterday only 40 out of 800 Galamseyers have been prosecuted. Can you imagine that? Yesterday we asked the environment minister his take on this. If you go to my journal line, no running away. Akufo-Addo urges ex-appointees to face accountability. Nana B vows to sue Fourth Estate over NSS Ghost Names allegation. Illegal miners block forestry commission's access after hijacking 9 reserves. And then water scarcity in Agotim, Eziope, Adaklu districts to worsen as Toje gets polluted. Hey, this has gotten to the Volta region. I hope it's not Galamsey. Meanwhile, 15 CSIR projects in danger over USAID funding cut. Brother, this is serious. Now, Clocksack has started a strike over government's insistence on appointing somebody they consider
to be a politically exposed person
as the head of birth and death unit. And then I'm taking you to Star FM finally before you go to the international places.
Yes, please.
I don't understand this. Kotoko to get new AstroTurf as Blaze Investment start construction at Adakun Jachie. Why is Kotoko getting an AstroTurf?
Is Blaze not Memphis Depay? Because he promised to get them a turf.
Why does Kotoko need an AstroTurf? Lands Minister paints bleak picture of devastation of illegal mining. And then court throws out case against MPP's Collins Amwa over lack of locusts. All these stories and more. And then miners demonstrate over burning of excavators and say the incident has rendered 50 people jobless. This is a big story. We'll probably start with Galamsey, but let's go to international news.
Yes, if we go elsewhere, Bloomberg, South Africa tax drama spawns budget delays, coalition chaos. We are told, and Renault targets stable returns in tougher Europe auto market. That's from Bloomberg Africa. If I take you to CNN quickly, and then also the BBC, inside the 48 hours that Trump turned on Zelensky. Israeli hosted families forum receive heart-shattering news of baby's death. We are told monkeys are climbing rope bridges to cross roads in the Amazon. Okay. What China fears most about Trump's turn towards Russia. These are some of the stories on CNN this morning.
BBC is also leading with that. Yeah. They are basically talking about Trump's descent on Zelensky.
That's right.
And then Trump tells BBC that Russia has the cards in the peace negotiations. This is so bizarre, you know. Yeah. And apparently they're saying he's echoing some of the stuff Russia is saying. I mean, we all know Trump's relationship with Russia, even in his first term. You know, it came up quite strongly. So Trump calls Zelensky a dictator as the rift deepens between the two leaders. Zelensky says nobody's going to decide the end of Ukraine's war without Ukraine's involvement. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Well, so let's get into the details.
Well, I want to start with education, but
okay,
unless
do education.
Because the National Education Forum is ongoing, and the Catholic bishops have sent some very strong messages across on what they want to happen. You find these stories in the Daily Graphic and the Ghanaian Times. On page 13 of the Daily Graphic, the Vice President of the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference, Most Reverend Emmanuel Kofi-Fianu, SVD, has said the non-compliance by some politicians with the partnership between the government and missionaries in the provision of education is inimical to the success of any envisaged education reform. For instance, he said some appointments and transfers to and from Catholic schools without recourse to the church left the church wondering whether there existed a partnership with the government. He also spoke about other things. He said the unfriendly posture of some education directors to the Catholic Church does not in any way promote collaboration and delivery of quality education. He said the upsurge in social vices and corrupt practices in the country was a great source of concern to the church. Shedding light on the expected reforms, Bishop Fianu said the use of Catholic school compounds for structural developments without any engagement with the church was in bad taste. Earlier, the Vice Chancellor of the Whole Technical University, Professor Ben Q. Honyanuga, said there was a need to strengthen educational institutions for the heads to play active roles in their transformation continually. A retired director of education, Ms. Grace Bonwedi, said it was essential to build more day senior high schools, which provided one hot meal to each student in a day. The whole municipal president of the Ghana Society of the Physically Disabled, Alex Kosi Aso Akpo, called for the establishment of disability centers at the second cycle and tertiary institutions to attend to the specific needs of persons with disability. Now, on page 10 of the Ghanaian Times, the Catholic bishop have accepted the apology of the president. Again, Most Reverend Fianu said the overpopulation at second cycle schools, which affected character formation, teacher-student ratio, teacher contact hours with individual students, and proper supervision was of concern to Catholic bishops. You can get the paper for more details.
Caleb, there's a lot of stories on Galamsey. I'm just going to give you 3.
Right.
The first one is from the Minister of Lands, and I'm using the GNS version. Ghana's forest reserves, water bodies under siege. Government vows to act. So, and this is from LC Apia, I'll say. She says, Ghana's Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Kofi Wednesday, highlighted the devastating impact of illegal mining known as Galamsey on the country's forest reserves and water bodies. He painted a grim picture of the situation, citing the destruction of over 5,000 hectares of forest reserves, equivalent to about 7,500 standard football pitches. Here's a quote, Mr. Speaker, the approach adopted by these illegal miners or mining thugs is quite alarming and frightening. They are heavily armed with sophisticated weapons and violent with large numbers of excavators, Mr. Abua said on the floor of Parliament. He made these remarks when he delivered a statement on the floor of the House. Now, he highlighted the critical impact of Galamsey on Ghana's water bodies, with turbidity levels exceeding 5,000 to 12,000 nephelometric turbidity units, or NTUs. All right, so he basically painted a grim picture and says they are rolling out a number of initiatives to deal with this. Then the Minister for Environment, on the point of view, reiterated that no MP or minister involved in Galamsey will be spared. Then he also went on to echo the call for support. He asked journalists to support the fight against Galamsey.
Yeah.
And let me just read that angle. Minister for Environment, Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, has urged journalists to actively support the fight against illegal mining, emphasizing that their critical role is important in raising awareness on shaping public discourse. All right. Now, the third one has to do with community reactions to attempts to stop Galamsey. And I'll give you 2 stories. Neilni Kanaku from Channel 1 News. Obonho youth protest burning of excavators by Forestry Commission. Some youth of Obonho and Obonho Fanti at Ayensuano in Eastern Region are demonstrating against what they describe as unlawful burning of excavators by the Forestry Commission. The group, chanting war songs clad in red and black, are demanding the immediate arrest and prosecution of the personnel who burned the excavators. Now, last week, some officers of the Rapid Unit of the Forestry Commission who visited the community set ablaze 4 excavators, which were allegedly being used to invade the Atewa Forest and Ayensu River. All right. Now, the youth who denied invading the forest to engage in Galamsey called on the IGP and the National Security Coordinator to immediately intervene to ensure the arrest and prosecution of the Forestry Commission officers. Now, still on that story, there's a different angle. Legal miners block Forestry Commission's access after hijacking 9 reserves. So that's the Major Line angle. The minister painted a disturbing picture of the fight against Galamsey. According to him, illegal miners have taken over 9 forest reserves, preventing the Forestry Commission from accessing them. And the minister said this during Parliament. So I'm not sure whether the Obonho one was one. But according to the minister, 9 out of 44 forest reserves have been completely taken over by these illegal mining thugs with impunity. Now, there's a final bit here where the EPA is telling us the cost of fighting illegal mining, the amount of money it would cost us. EPA says Ghana requires billions to reclaim and restore degraded lands. Albert Opong and Science reporting that Ghana will need billions of dollars to treat, reclaim, and restore vast degraded lands and water bodies caused by activities of illegal miners over the years. Professor Nana Brown-Kluche, acting CEO of EPA, described the situation as an emergency and appealed to development partners to support the country. Speaking to GNA on Tuesday, she gave a hint that a World Bank funded project had helped reclaim some lands, but it was a pilot stage. Yesterday, the minister also said there was a new technology they were going to use to try and clean our water. Going to cost us some money as well.
Wow, that's interesting. Now let me take you. Go for it.
I have a lot of Galamsey stories as well. The Chronicle, they are pointing at specific allegations. So on page 3, they're asking the question: NDC chairman caught in Galamsey web. Management of Adamus Resources Limited, an international mining company operating in the Lembele municipality, has accused the NDC constituency chairman for Evaluatura Jomoro and Kofi of invading his concession and doing illegal mining. The company has specifically mentioned the NDC chairman's name as having encroached on this mining concession at Akango North, but all efforts to stop him has proved futile. Now, the NDC chairman has denied this. There was a press conference by the constituency executives who have jumped to the defense of the chairman. Also on the same page, Chairman Kofi denies involvement. So basically 3 related stories on Galamsey.
Now, Passport Office to operate 24-hour system, 3 units. Okujetua Blackwell, Foreign Affairs Minister, has asked staff at the Passport Office to brace up for 24-hour work schedule as part of government's plans to implement a 24-hour economy policy. Speaking at the passport recorders in Accra, Blackwell stressed the need for faster passport processing, stating that applications should be able or applicants rather, should be able to receive their passports within a week of application. It further revealed plans to introduce chip embedded passports and integrate passports with the National Identification Authority system to streamline the identification process.
Right now, 70% of Accra street lights to be fixed in
50 days.
This is
no, I have it here.
Regional Minister reiterates.
Yes.
So the Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Oklu has reaffirmed her commitment to ensuring that 70% of streetlights in Accra are operational in the next 50 days. She assured residents that significant progress would be visible by March 10, emphasizing her determination to fulfill this pledge despite challenges. Speaking on the initiative, Minister Oklu underscored the importance of well-lit streets in enhancing security and improving visibility for motorists and pedestrians. She noted that her office is working closely with relevant agencies to accelerate the repair and installation of streetlights across the capital. So we should expect something visible by March 10.
Is to give me March 10 is the 50 days.
March 10 is when she says we can start seeing significant progress.
Okay.
So we should give it up to March 10.
Let me take you to the Daybreak newspaper on page 3. At least 88 acres of land belonging to the Air Force Base in Chakrade in the Western region have been taken over by encroachers. The 88 acres of land form part of over 600 acres specifically demarcated by the central government for establishment of the Air Force Base and its operations. Air Commodore Kwabena Kisiedu Manukure Atiemu disclosed this when he briefed the chairman of the RECSEC, that's the Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson, about their operations.
The NPP minority said they will ensure Akwetia MP complies with the court ruling.
Yeah.
Now, this is the ruling that has held him in contempt. Minority leader Alexander Kwenyo Marking has assured that the caucus will take necessary steps to ensure Akwetia MP and Kumi complies with the law. His statement follows the Koforidua High Court's conviction of Kumi for contempt after he defied an injunction barring him from being sworn in as legislator. Presiding Judge Senyo Amedahe also issued a bench warrant for his arrest after he failed to appear for sentencing. The court had previously restrained Kumi from presenting himself for swearing in pending the resolution of a legal dispute. However, he proceeded to take the oath of office in Parliament despite the directive. Citing overwhelming evidence of willful defiance, the court ruled that Kumi had acted in contempt. An official letter from the minority caucus attempting to justify the absence of the MP from hearing was dismissed by the judge, who maintained that Kumi had disregarded the court's authority.
Kenzo Must Go is also on the front page of the New Republic, and I think you also have a clock sack strike.
Yes, I don't even.
And the clock sack strike is a big deal. So VR, well, this is not from the VRA, but a group calling itself New Voter Forum. Say Engineer Kenzo must
go. Let me bring you a dose of some international. President Trump is calling Zelensky a dictator as the rift between the two leaders deepens. So President Trump has spent a day attacking Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, calling him a dictator and deepening the rift between the two leaders. His attacks came after Zelensky, reacting to US-Russia talks in Saudi Arabia from Kiev, was excluded. Said the US president was living in a disinformation space governed by Moscow. Now, speaking at a Saudi-backed investment meeting in Florida, Trump said the only thing Zelensky was really good at was playing Joe Biden like a fiddle.
That's serious. Anyway, we'll leave it here for now.
Yeah.
And see what happens next.
Thank you, gentlemen.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
So don't get scammed. Don't get scammed. Fraud activities are on the increase. Scammers continue to target customers of various banks through phone calls, text messages, emails, just to get customers to divulge sensitive information, your password, your PIN, your card information, your personal details, you name it. The Focus ultimate goal is to steal your money. Please be extra vigilant. When they send you a link, do not open. Avoid their calls, their messages. Report any suspicious SMS, email, or phone call to EcoBank Contact Center and delete such messages at once. If they tell you they want to link your bank account your bank account details can only be updated at an EcoBank branch. Your EcoBank mobile app can only be upgraded at the App Store or Play Store. And linking your Ghana card to your EcoBank account is at any EcoBank branch or www.ecobank.com. So do not fall for that. If you feel insecure about any such offer, please call our toll-free number 0800 003225. Now get ready for a game changer SMEs. We are introducing the Yellow Bears, our new multi-service bundle with everything you need for smarter business solutions. This all-in-one package consists 4G plus router with 10 gigabyte free data, Microsoft Office 365 genuine Microsoft applications. We have the WebWiz, a customized business website for your business. The Unicom service is a unified business communication solution for your virtual call center, IVR, and conferencing needs. So don't get left out. Stay ahead of the competition. Call 100 or 0244 308111. Email mtnbusiness.gh@mtn.com. Visit mtn.com.gh/business or any of our offices for your Yellow Biz and stay connected everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
And Latte joins us in a colorful shirt with the business news. Good morning, Nee.
Well, good morning to you, Caleb. Good morning to you, listening. Welcome to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News here on 97.3 Citi FM. The bulletin is proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil, and EcoBank. Coming up, government to simplify tax structure in 2025 budget to cushion businesses and boost private sector growth. Also, Bank of Ghana to audit remittance transactions in the last quarter of 2024, a move expected to strengthen regulatory compliance. Plus, newly elected president of the Ghana Association of Banks challenged to fix sector inefficiencies with broader stakeholder engagement. I am Ni Lati here with the details. First up, government has assured businesses that it is committed to streamlining the country's tax structure in the upcoming 2025 budget to enhance productivity and stimulate economic growth. Presidential advisor on the economy, Seth Tepe, at the Ghana Economic Outlook 2025 by the Ghana German Economic Association said simplifying the tax system will ease the compliance burden on businesses, foster investment, and drive sustainable economic expansion. He noted that the government aims to create a more transparent and efficient tax framework, focusing on reducing complexities that hinder business operations.
If we rationalize the tax regime, if we have difficulties, we introduce two taxes. Anytime we did austerity, National Fiscal Stabilization Levy or Fiscal Stabilization Levy. And then we had the temporary import duty. And anytime we went out of an austerity program with the fund, we removed them. So they were keeping them. It was the reason for most of the levies that we are keeping. So this summarizes the rationalization that we have to do to the fiscal regime. And until you do the rationalization and raise enough revenue to contain your expenditures, you are going to borrow. And if you borrow and you do not have a mechanism for repayment, you are going to default. This is the challenge, facing our country.
Seth Tepe is presidential advisor on the economy. Now, economist and finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Lord Mensah, is pushing for the reinstatement of the fiscal responsibility rules under the Fiscal Responsibility Act as Ghana prepares to exit the IMF program in May next year. The rules, which bar the finance minister from borrowing beyond a threshold that pushes the fiscal deficit above 5% of GDP, were suspended during the COVID-19 pandemic. Professor Mensah argues that restoring these measures should be a key agenda item at the upcoming National Economic Dialogue to safeguard fiscal discipline and economic stability.
I remember, at the exit of the 2018 IMF program, we had what we called Fiscal Responsibility Act. And then also, fiscal responsibility, I think it was a kind of a supervision team made up of, some economic professors at the University of Ghana and all those places. But then at the end of the day, we asked ourselves, what has been the functioning of this, body, and then also the act. And then also, I remember the finance minister then, which is Ken Ofori-Atta, was bold enough, during the COVID time, to go and ask the parliament to dig out the Fiscal Responsibility Act, so he can have his way to borrow and spend anyhow. But then I think we should bring it back and ensure strict enforcement of the act, and that will be able to help us, because within the act, all the things that IMF may want us to do is in there. If the act tells you to reduce your budget deficit to about 5% to your GDP, strictly they are telling you that be measured with your expenditure, and then also try to ensure that you enhance your revenue generation.
Professor Lord Mensah is an economist and finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School. Now, the Bank of Ghana is set to conduct an audit of remittance transactions covering the period from October 1, 2024 to December 31, 2024. The audit is aimed at assessing the remittance processes and strengthening the regulatory framework governing international money transfers. According to a public notice issued by the Central Bank, the review will also evaluate compliance with key financial regulations, including the Foreign Exchange Act, the updated guidelines for remittances, the Payment Services Act, and the Anti-Money Laundering and Combating the Financing of Terrorism guidelines. The Bank of Ghana stressed that all market participants must ensure full adherence to these regulatory requirements as the audit seeks to enhance transparency, mitigate financial risks, and deepen Ghana's foreign exchange market. Industry stakeholders, including remittance service providers, banks, and financial technology firms, are expected to cooperate fully with the central bank's audit process. The findings from this review could lead to a further adjustment in regulations aimed at improving the efficiency and security of the remittance sector. Still on the banking sector, and banking consultant Dr. Richmond Ituahin wants the newly elected president of the Ghana Association of Banks, Kwame Asumeni, to prioritize addressing the persistent challenges in the sector. Mr. Asumeni, who is also the managing director of Stanbic Bank Ghana, succeeds John Kofi Adomanko as the new president of the association. But Dr. Ituahin tells City Business News that a mere change in leadership is not enough to resolve the issues in the sector. He stresses the need for broader stakeholder engagement involving regulators, policymakers, and industry players to develop sustainable solutions.
The Bankers Association is supposed to be telling the governor the state of the banks and what we're going to do, how can we do it the best. But unfortunately, no. It's become a process at a club that they meet, and then you go and give a long speech, just like Ghana Institute of Bankers. They go and talk a long, here, Master says, then they will do. I don't think you should change anything in the banking sector. Changing the leadership of GBA doesn't change anything, because they are not able to lobby. So changing from Adumako to whoever, whether it's Stanbic or it doesn't change any rules.
You heard Dr. Richmond Ituahin, banking consultant. Now, a former Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress, Dr. Yauba, is urging the National Tripartite Committee to negotiate a better deal for public sector workers regarding the minimum wage. He expressed concern over the current minimum wage of 18 cedis, 15 pesos, just over $1, describing it as inadequate and unworthy of public sector employees and calling for a significant improvement. Daniel Ojo-Mensah has more in the following report.
The National Tripartite Committee, consisting of representatives from the government, employers, and organized labor, has begun negotiations to determine the 2025 minimum wage. These discussions officially started on Monday, February 3, 2025, marking a crucial step towards setting wage standards for the upcoming financial year. Although these discussions should have commenced in previous years, many believe the current minimum wage requires a significant increase to better reflect the contributions of public sector workers. One of the advocates for this change is a former Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress, Dr. Yao Ban, who spoke to the media during the opening of his labor consultancy firm, the Kaizen Institute for Labor Economics in Tema.
This is not the Ghana we wanted to build. This is not the Ghana Kwame Nkrumah wanted to build. That after 68 years of independence, the people of Ghana are working for 8 hours for $1. This is a big shame. And so I always put the blame on government and employers for keeping the minimum wage so low, so shamefully low. And I hope that in this negotiation, the employers and government will realize that it is shameful for Ghanaians to be taking $1 a day for 8 hours of work. It is simply wrong. It's not right. What we can do is to break that cycle.
Meanwhile, the chairman of the National Development Planning Commission, Dr. Nimoy Thompson, has emphasized the importance of training public sector workers as a key strategy for enhancing their productivity.
It's going to be in the form of training for workers, for entrepreneurs, for people who manage the public sector, for those. Fortunately for us, the president has also appointed a minister for public sector reform. So the commission, in fact, I'm scheduled to meet with her either next week or the week afterwards, so that we'll strategize together, because the commission has a much wider view of what is going on than a single ministry can ever do. So we will work with the Minister for Public Sector Reform to handle that aspect of it, the public sector part of productivity deficits.
That was the chairman of the National Development Planning Commission, Dr. Nimoy Thompson, ending that report put together by Citi Business News' Daniel Odro-Mensah. And that's it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News on 97.3 Citi FM, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and EcoBank. Before I go, let me take you to the Forex market, where the dollar is trading at 15 cedis 90 pesos, the British pound at 19 cedis 45 pesos. That of the euro could be sold to you at 16 cedis 50 pesos. We have more news for you if you visit our website, citynewsroom.com/business. I am Ni Latte, and I wish you a good business day.
Every day, people have money emergencies. Ma, I need my school fees. Mommy chop money. Cratchet. Mommy rent. Emergency. Now, there's a new emergency number in town. More money, challenge, enjoyment. At the top life we got. Dial *770# for money emergencies and Chop Life.
For emergency access to your bank accounts, transfers, utility payments, loans, and more, dial *770#. Bank on the go even without data with EcoBank's short code for digital banking. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hey, so as for you, every day you are just pressing your phone. Why? Are they paying you?
They are, Oma.
Eh?
The more I use my MTN, the more points I get. And I can use those points to get airtime, data, and even discounts at shops and restaurants.
Hey, so that is why all of you are always pressing your phones. And you won't tell us, so that way too we can enjoy some.
Oh, ma.
There's always more to enjoy with MTN Rewards. Just keep talking, testing, and browsing all day, every day to collect your points and use it to redeem amazing offers and discounted freebies right away. There's so much available for you. So dial *550# and get your reward today. Let's go. Everywhere you go.
Kweku, have you heard what they are doing on MTN?
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Oh my God, I me say I know, you do me bad and you know, miss you for my pillow, tears will soak my pillow. Oh wait till I do you, where you lead me go for a tungo, where you lead me go for a yeah. Wait till you do me no bye say yeah. Mete my bubu wano mitra alumu, mete my bubu wano mitra yeah. Ole go, tell me what I know you do for you. Otto you, me and you like 1 and 2. Let's start
We all love vanilla. I mean, vanilla's atongo. That's the sound that always welcomes Gabi Ofe, who's still in the studio without the shiny solar panel. Meanwhile, the sun has been blazing lately. I don't know what's going on. Gabi's ready with the sports we call a kickoff on the morning, and that's brought to you by Shell and Zondergan Limited. From planning date nights to making your kids happy with the latest toy and ice cream, these small things, as they may look, make all the difference in creating lasting memories. Good times start a show where you can fill up on more than just fuel. Fill up on love, laughter, sumptuous bites and treats from our partner vendors. If you want juicy chicken, filling burgers, snacks, a space just to unwind, trust me, you'll find all of them at Shell. Even if you just want to talk to Atongo. And while you're enjoying yourself with the family and friends, your car can also get the love it deserves at the Shell service station and wash bay. There's one roof for everything, so visit Shell today. Shell, go well.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
He dismissed pretty lightly. Bellingham feeding Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, Mbappe scored!
And Gabi is in with the big news, all from the world of sport, including the auspicious future of Ghana Football League.
You know what? Let's just give the majority leader the benefit of the doubt. Okay,
it is possible that Ghana's Premier League will not overtake the European.
You watched the Madrid City game yesterday. Did you see the pitch?
Yes, please.
Have you seen the pitch at the Indum Sports Complex?
I love the Indum
No, have
Sports
you even seen the pitch
nice.
at the Accra Sports Stadium? Have you seen it?
But it's good.
It's good.
It's not good.
You take your kids there to go and play football.
Well, I won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Ghana Premier League will do better than the European League. We'll get into the European League a bit later, but of course it was a good night for Real Madrid. A performance, a good one from Kylian Mbappe, the Frenchman, with a brilliant hat-trick for Champions League holders Madrid in a 3-1 win over Manchester City. Madrid are through to the round of 16 on a 6-3 aggregate. More from the UCL. Plus at the Villa Park, Liverpool drop point against Aston Villa.
Salah. Alexander-Arnold. And that's 2-2. Aided by deflection.
All right, and so over to you, Arsenal. Let's see what the response will be like when the Gunners face the Hammers on Saturday. All of that plus, we go heavy on the reactions from Parliament yesterday regarding the current state of Ghana football. Many thanks to Zonda GH and Shell go well. All right, I am Gabi Ofe. Let's start off from Parliament. A majority leader and member of Parliament for Boku Central, Hassan Ayariga, has reiterated government's commitment to leveraging sport as a catalyst for Ghana's proposed 24-hour economy. Now, according to him, Kofi Adams, who is the sports minister, is already engaging key stakeholders to realize this vision, including efforts to attract international broadcasters to cover the local league.
Speaker, when the local leagues are covered by super sports, what it means is that people sitting in South Africa can see our boys playing, our boys and girls playing, and from South Africa, they can begin to identify and come and scout for those people. So the footballers themselves, when they see that their tournaments are covered on super sports, they know that a global platform is being provided them to showcase their skills so that scouts all over the world can view and then come and try and then recruit them to their various countries. And also that he is going to invest and get support and sponsorship for the various teams in the regions so they can have good football, good coaches, they can have support to be able to compete effectively, train and recruit and retain very good footballers, buy very good players, and then also up the quality of our local league so that people will really like to go and watch our leagues instead of wanting to sit at home and watch the European leagues.
All right, so that's the Majority Leader and Member of Parliament for Boku Central, Mahama Ayariga, speaking there. Now, is this feasible? Well, a lot of Ghanaians do not think so, including Member of Parliament for Brekum West, Dixon Tredia, who is calling for stringent measures to be put in place to prevent future hooliganism acts.
Football violence continues to plague the nation. Mr. Speaker, for example, Ghana were left dumbfounded when one of its topmost female referees, Teresa Bremensu, who was officiating in the 2019 Women Special Competition between prisons and Ampindakwa ladies, was beaten to pulp by the fans for what they claimed she failing to add extra time after the 90 minutes elapsed. Again in 2020, Mr. Speaker, we are aware of a Kotoko fan, Augustine Opon, who was shot in the eye when violence broke in the game against Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Brekum Chelsea.
All right, so that's MP for Brekum West, Dixon Tredia, speaking. There were Member of Parliament for Bolga Central, Isaac Adongo, also had this to say about Ghana's Top Flight League.
Mr. Speaker, I was very sad to hear my colleague mention that they were struggling to get very simple first aid. You don't have ambulances. You have no business playing football in such a field. That is a death trap. But we go there and nothing happens, so we think that is a football field. No. What was the police situation at the football field? Where were the police? What was the requirement of security that was supposed to be upheld in the stadium? In this particular instance, the information we have is that this young man had been threatened prior to the match, and that the security agencies should have known that what happened to the young man could happen. I would like to call on you to direct the Ministry of Sports to take this matter very seriously, and that if the GFA cannot follow rigorous protocols for licensing our football stadia, we should not be playing football as a country.
All right, so that's Member of Parliament for Bolga Central, Isaac Adongo, speaking there. Let's stay with Martin. Bichim United, they have taken a bold stance against hooliganism in Ghanaian football, offering 100,000 Ghana cedis reward for credible information leading to the arrest of the suspect involved in the tragic murder of Kotoko fan Frances Nanapole Frempong. Well, speaking of football returning, the round of 60 matches of the MTN FA Cup is set to return this weekend, starting on Friday, but without Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Now, yesterday on Football Made in Ghana, City Sports reached out to the committee chairman for the MTN FA Cup, Wilson Arthur, on why they have decided to go ahead with the matches.
Charlie, Abeku, you guys will be concerned.
Oh, why they talk that?
If you know because concerned, last way they say they don't go play. If they play now, that's going to be your matter.
Yeah, we won't know.
Kotoko started training, I think, today. So, they've asked that we postpone their match. We agreed that we postpone their match, make it a midweek along the way. So no problem. We are on course. The most important thing is that, see, football is a beautiful thing. Football is an entertainment product. If something happens, it doesn't mean that people's entertainment should suffer. I'm sure you understand that. And life must go on. Yes, very unfortunate what happened. But life must go on. It's a situation we have to choose good responses and make sure that the outcome benefits everybody.
All right, so that's MTN FA Cup Committee Chairman Wilson Arthur speaking to my colleague Bernard Avle on Football Made in Ghana yesterday on Channel 1 TV. What we do know is that Kotoko will meet the GFA boss later today at the club secretariat at 1 p.m. So we'll keep you posted. Well, let's take you to Europe, and it was Kylian Mbappe show at the Santiago Bernabeu. The Frenchman grabbed a hat-trick against Manchester City and then 6-3 on aggregate. It was his just inexperience for City boss Pep Guardiola. Boys, here's Carlo Ancelotti after the game.
Start with one. What's the thing that makes you the happiest today?
To be qualified. Second, we defended well. Third, we played a good football. I think I'm really pleased for this, because really difficult to think that with all this quality in front to defend also well. But the sacrifice of the four was fantastic in these two games.
All right, so that's Madrid's Carlo Ancelotti speaking there. On the losing end, here's what Pep Guardiola had to say.
We want to extend the position down, goal down as long as possible, so we cannot deal with the physicality and the rhythm they have. So that's why it's a lot of calm with the ball. But after conceding the goal in the first action, we didn't defend well our back, so it's more difficult. Accept it. So the best team won. So congratulate Real Madrid and now focus in our Premier League.
So that's a very emotional Manchester City boss, Pep Guardiola speaking there. Well, some more in the Champions League, and Ryan Flamingo scored an extra time winner as PSV Eindhoven produced a superb performance against Juventus to overturn their first leg deficit and book a place in the last 16. Borussia Dortmund also through to the last 16 after the goalless draw against Sporting Lisbon, but it ended 3-0 on aggregate. Paris Saint-Germain also roared into the last 16 of the Champions League with a thumping victory over Brest. It ended 10-0 on aggregates. In the Premier League, Liverpool moved 8 points, clear at the top of the Premier League table after being held to a draw by Aston Villa. We hear from Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk.
Hey Virgil, how do you see that point on the road?
Yeah, obviously a bit disappointed, but we fight. We had chances to win the game, and we took a bit of risk in the end. So obviously you got more open at times. So, take the points. We move on and focus on a big one on the weekend again.
You went ahead through Mo Salah, capitalising on a Villa mistake. But did you feel like it was hard to find a flow and a rhythm in that first half?
I think in possession we did quite well. I think we created good opportunities to score the second. Unfortunately, we didn't. So disappointing to concede from a set piece. I think we tried everything tonight.
All right, so that's Liverpool's defender Virgil van Dijk speaking after the 2-2 draw against Aston Villa last night at the Villa Park. That's the very latest in the world of sports. For more, you can head to citysportsonline.com and on X at citysportsgh. We'll be back later at 5 p.m. with more. Kickoff is proudly brought to you by Zonda GH and Shell. Go well. I am Gabi Ofe. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care and bye-bye.
It's not just a service station. It's a place you get more for every visit. It's not just a place to fill your tank. It's a place to fulfill your cravings. From chicken to chocolate, caramel or the tasty latte. It's not just a place to service your car. It's the perfect place to wash your ride. It's a place where convenience, love, friendship, joy and laughter assemble. Because it all starts at Shell. Visit Shell today and enjoy a wide array of services and offers under one roof. It starts at Shell.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
You are starting life, you want financial freedom, you know where to go. For your child's education, financial freedom, we got solutions just for you. For your retirement plan, employee wellness and benefits. Old Mutual, your preferred insurer. Old Mutual is the best.
What are you waiting for? Come and join us. Call us on 030-7600. Old Mutual. Do great things every day.
Do great things every day. Do great things every day.
Solar Tech, the power to protect. Yes! Solartech, your tried and trusted brand, is your total solution to all power problems, whether low voltage, high voltage, power surges, spikes, brownouts, or what have you. SolarTech fully protects your valuable equipment, no matter your appliance. We have the perfect SolarTech for you. Choose from my tried and trusted range, such as Fridge Guard, TV Guard, High Volt Guard, Multi Guard, AVS 13, AVS 30, AC Guard, SolarTech TV Stab, SolarTech Fridge Stab, UPS, and SolarTech Voltage Stabilizer. Beware of counterfeit SolarTech products. Get your genuine SolarTech products today at our Abelenkpe office and all our authorized dealers across the country. Contact us at number 10 Yiwa Street, Abelenkpe, or call 0302-761450 or 0302-775106. SolarTech, the power to protect.
Fly Emirates from Accra to Dubai and beyond and start your holiday on board. Enjoy complimentary food and drink. Explore up to 6,500 channels of entertainment, including live sport. Stay connected with onboard Wi-Fi and relax in comfort with world-class service all the way. You get so much more in Emirates Economy. Book your next getaway at emirates.com. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Did you know that worms take away nutrients from the food you eat? Just listen to them.
Brothers, yesterday the food nice, huh?
Oh yeah, the choba woman there, she did try wa.
Charlie, something come on, eat food.
It did taste like banana.
Eh, make a taste some. Make me try a taste, make a taste. Hey, something is doing me.
Something is doing me too.
Oh, it be Vermox.
Vermox banana flavored dewormer is available in both suspension and tablet and is suitable for children and adults. It's good for you, bad for worms. Not recommended for children under 2 years and pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
More than yeah, what's it? Ponkoso, man, you are so man. I need it. I rub on them, so you say me a boss with no floss. It's me we need to talk. We are done because I make it happen. I'm the boss. Would you make you Uber Bolon? Tell it, make a tell it. This for you. I rub a dross. I catch it from we are caught on now. Papa Naba, so please I beg you. So boss, in fact, in the best sense, Chawala, I cross. Jai, see, man, you what we found to make it to me. I do for me. You made that Kuba and over the home. But some me, ask your homie, share Lord Kenya. Grandmaster, the t-shirt. Me sick of video saying all the rap musicians, what the rapper saying. So look at me and greener. I saw we never were my comfort. You know, then I saw from Camu pain, to for more than one with the bunch of preaching for. Don't. Menu metabo, a mudo call stars to go. I still call stars to go. Boy, wait, and you forget go. Daddy, no, you wanna rub a duck with the maestro? You gotta walk the tightrope. Yeah, Lord Kenya, man, no. Father than it don't change. The tea, no. A big ass, I big a fan, and no mono. What is it for feeding my wits minimum? That a shot. Why no? Man, now she said, my rap with my fat. Me beat ned, a menu so do. So the City, Monsa, Muni, I catch it. Saka, rappers, Monte, Papa, Kenya, Maba, Baby Mama, Yamisa, Ruben Wuhan, and I was a pet. Rap mama fine, sorry, not it, Momobo, Mokete. Money, Gani, I'm supposed to like it. No scam, because I beat a job. Now check me out, still and down. Super duper rapper, with the hand up as a chicken back. I was a medina how. Obia Kwana Beswa, Menada, Ubesi Kaka, Atadia, Tadiana Thomas. I bet you, what's a Kenya idiot? Nana, Uni how. Uni how. And you says it's from honey, baby, mistake. Man, yeah, go slow. Fan, you wanna get no? Yo, 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 yo. Rap heavyweight champ. And ya po po. Send me jam to wa, money mutanda. And then move so cold. I see the yo. KC when Joe. Dia will be the etinia bo bo. Any ya bo bo. Can you? Already. Sissy, but you are pushing.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
A bustle, and when you get it, Poncoso, many people on Cosso was on Saragosso. More than yet, what's it? Poncoso, man, you are so, man, I need it. I rub on them, so who said, me your boss with no floss. It's me, we need toss. We are done it because I make it happen, I'm the boss. Would you make you Uber Bolon? Shall I make a talent? This for you, I rub a dross. I catch it from we are cotton now, Papa Naba, so please, I beg you. So, pops, Infantini Bessen, Chawala, across, Jai, see, many what we found to make it to me, I do my homie. You made a coupe and over the home, but some me, ask your homie, share Lord Kenya, Grandmaster, the t-shirt, me sick of video singer, all the rap musician, what the rapper singer. So look at me and greener. I saw we never my comfort, you know, that so from Camu pain, to for money, one put up on the preaching for. Don't Minimum Netako, a mudo call stars to go. I still call stars to go. Boy, wait, and you for the
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
You wanna rub a duck with the maestro? You gotta walk the tightrope. Yeah, Lord Kenya, no. Father done it on chain, the tea mono. A big ass, I pick a fan and your mono. What is some video my what's minimum that guy? A shot. Why no? Man, y'all say, my rap with my fat. Me beat net, a menu so do. So the Sissy, one stop, money I can check. Saka rappers, Monte, Mupapa, Kenya, Maba, Baby Mama Yabisa, Ruben Wuhan, and I'm the bet.
7:37 City Breakfast Show, 20th February 2025.
Because I be the champ now, check me out, shoot and down. Super duper rapper, what the hand the person chicken back. I was a medina how.
So it's 20022025. Very nice numbers. And I'm counting the days because this is the 51st day of the year. And we also have 2 weeks to the Heritage Caravan. It's happening from the 2nd to the 9th of March. As I've always said, there are many things we do as a station. I think the Heritage Caravan is the best. Can you guess how much Kenya earned from tourism in 2024?
Yo.
Yes.
1 billion?
I'm going to give you the details shortly.
Yeah.
Yes, they got $4.3 billion in 2024 from tourism. That's a lot of money. Yes, many times. But that may have been out is $3 billion spread over 3 years. Kenya got $4.3 billion
in a year.
Yes, but they have built a system to. So one of the things we're urging is businesses around tourism. Please up your game. And I also like the fact that some, I'm in two minds on this. The Independence Day celebration being taken outside Accra was costing the state a lot of money. Yeah. And I don't know the extent to which it was helping the local economies. But I certainly believe that big events like the Education Forum being launched in Ho is a good thing.
Yeah.
And I think, for example, that the government can pick a region
and decide what they want to promote in those regions. And if you say, for example, you want Ho to become your conferencing hub, in addition to what Accra can do, then it means that the hotels there and the airport there must be functioning properly. And that can also help boost the local economy. And one of the things it could also do is that if you have rural or non-Accra cities booming, the drift from all those places to Accra reduces. So it's in our interest to also develop other enclaves of economic activity. But that's for another day. Let me say good morning to a couple of people. Happy birthday to my special goddaughter Ikua Osei Amuafun of Flowbar School Primary 1, Adenta. May her day be as bright and filled with joy as her radiant smile. As you turn 5, may your world be adorned with laughter, love, and endless adventure. From Julian, her godfather, Sewa, her mom, Kendricks, Kendra, Ubia, Kweku, and Gucci. Good morning, Bernard. Kudos to you for your delivery yesterday. Kindly wish my dear Majwa, Mrs. Rebecca Ajiman, a happy marriage anniversary. It's been 15 years of memorable experiences. Thank her and the children for me. I can't do what I do without their push. Lovely. Thank you. Rebecca Dr. Collins Badua Jimai. ABC, I call you. Director, University of Ghana, Pan-African Doctoral Academy. Coming in from your husband, Dr. Ajiman. I want to say a special birthday to one of the people I really admire in this country, Dr. Tony Otin Jesse.
Oh, right.
And one of the reasons I like Otin Jesse is he...
Tropical.
No, yeah, that's the man. But I like him because he's able to use his knowledge to help people in a very unique way. You know, I urge young journalists to get his lecture on the economy he delivered in 2023. This was around November of that year, or December, or early 2024. It was a lecture on the economy. Now, I like Tony Otin Jesse because, you know, he did economics at the university and then he did, I think, law. I said this at the lecture yesterday. He is not very interested in showing you how much he knows by flaunting his knowledge with big jargon. But when you listen to the lecture about what we need to do on our economy, he's very pragmatic. So he's basically saying we have 60 years of what works. Let's not. So he's not into, we like IMF, we don't like IMF. He's not interested in those things. Does it work? Can it create jobs? Can people survive? Do you understand? He's very practical. And I really think that for the Ghana Economic Forum or whatever we're going to do, we need to have a practical approach to the economy, you know. And the word is pragmatic, as against dogmatic. So dogmatic is more, look, I'll die in my socks. I'm socialist till Jesus comes. And he's a pragmatic economist who's an entrepreneur. The other reason I like him is, and let me be very careful here. So I know there are people who are very good economists, and I'm not doubting their economic knowledge. But you see, I think the purpose of knowledge is application. So I always tell people, what I know is media.
That's what you do.
So even though I studied economics, I'm not an economist because I have not been able to use economics to free anybody, to create any job. But what I know is media. And I've used media to help people. I've used media to rally, build hospitals, you know what I'm saying? I've used media to raise millions of cedis to solve problems. I've used media to expose things. So you actually, this is my argument. You don't know something until you're able to use it to change lives. You get it? So education is not meant for you to know it to pass the exam. That's the minimum. Knowing it to use it to change a reality is the real knowledge. You get it? So he's done economics, he's done law, and he's run a business that's strong. And he's been University Council chair. At the time he was University Council chair, he had this foundation that was helping underprivileged students. So he would invite some of us to come and talk to the student. He was saying that, look, I don't see the point in just giving the student a scholarship. So he had this system where you say, okay, when we give them the scholarship, we'll invite them to lunch. And then he will invite young people like me to talk to them about what it takes to succeed in a university. Why you shouldn't just be a tunnel vision university student. why you should have range. And this is like 2010, 2011. So you know this University of Ghana place, when you go towards South Legon, there's this University of Ghana, it's like a guest house.
Okay.
On your way from the university athletics.
It's opposite athletics over.
After the stadium. Some place be on your way towards South Legon. So when you're on the runabout from South Legon, if you don't use the main exit, you are going all the way out.
Yes. It's the university guest house.
Yeah, but not the main one near University Primary School. There's another one.
Okay.
You mean the Noguchi area?
Yes, after Noguchi.
Oh, that's Yui Lodge.
Good.
Yui Lodge.
So what he would do is that he will invite these people he's giving scholarship to. Good. And then me and some people will come and talk to them about what it means to be a university student and how you should be more what's the word? Like you shouldn't just be one-sided. Don't come and just do buklong, do other things. Good. And these are people he'll pick from like deprived regions. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that let's all strive to be practical people. So he also does media. So I can say what you know is media.
Yes.
All right, because you study theater arts, but you've not used theater arts to give anybody any job.
I studied media.
No, I'm coming. I'm trying to make a point here. You pass theater arts very well.
Yes.
If you had done productions to a point where you can use it like George Quay, then I can say you know it. Because you see,
true.
There's two things about knowledge: willing to learn, but commitment to apply.
Yeah.
Okay. I think our universities need to emphasize more application. Application. Okay. So when we teach people economics, let's teach them the economics in a way that they can apply it in managing something. I'll give you an example. There's an economist from I think it's New York University. He's a Ghanaian economics professor. I came to give a lecture in Legon like 4 years ago. He basically he's from a Kumadan or some place in Kumewu or something. He's developed a model to help farmers in his hometown to basically get better prices for their products. And he's written academically about it. But he has a project that does it. So he can actually tell you that there are X number of farmers who I have helped with my model, and it's working.
Yeah.
Okay. I think one of the things we need in Ghana is practical knowledge. Practical knowledge. All right. And the way we teach people doesn't make them practical. Okay. Now, when I was studying, when I was in Presec, we used to do differentiation and integration. And so we had our maths teachers who come to teach us pure maths. So pure maths is proving things that exist.
Yes.
But applied maths is using what you've proved. Do you get it? So pure maths proves a relationship between two things. Okay. And then applied math says, on the basis of what has been proven, can you use this to solve this problem?
Right.
So a lot of times when we do differentiation, they will then the lecturer will say, okay, now let's do applications. So they will teach the thing. So the first part was, what is the relationship between this and that? You solve it.
Application.
Now, I think applications is the most important part of knowledge. Okay. And we need to hold up people who apply their knowledge more than people who just show that they know it.
Right.
Okay. So I'm using Otin Jesse, and I'm not sure he even wants me to do this. I saw a birthday advert in the Odeni Huaba. Okay. So measure your knowledge by how you've been able to use it. Wow. And in our context as a people, using knowledge is using it to help people.
Right.
Let me give you an example. Law. Okay. So I was talking yesterday about how a lot of the civil rights activists in Ghana in the 1800s and 1900s, they used law and journalism as a tool to help people. So Akoto Ampao would use his knowledge of law to say, this is not fair, I'm going to represent you for free, or I'm going to fight against this unjust law. As against this, you need to make money. Or a lot of the Aborigines Rights Protection Society people would use journalism as a tool. So for them, they were proud to be called, like the guy called J.E. Kesley Hayford. He was a lawyer, he was an author, but he was a journalist. And he was using journalism to propagate his idea of African whatever. Okay. I'm trying to say that like this is where a lot of people who want to go to law school. So like this, there's the big stories about how the law school is rejecting people and things. My question is, how many of them even want to use the law for development? Because law is one of the best tools for development. Okay, like no, it is like it is. Let's take Galamsey for example. EI 41 something was a tool of destruction, a law that allows you to mine in forest reserves. It's a bad law. In the same way, you can write a law that says that for anybody to mine, the EPA must do ABCD. That's law for development. I think that our lawyers, our economists, our journalists, our mathematicians, our engineers must begin to say, they must begin to question how they use their knowledge. Okay, and society must hold up people who are what's the word I want to use? Appliers of knowledge,
right?
Not purveyors of knowledge. Because our media space likes displaying. Charlie say, hey, this weekend, Charlie, this guy was on the big issue. Charlie was displaying his knowledge of the law. He's so good. Yeah. I am very cynical towards those things because for me, I don't see the point of showing you are good. Because you see, anybody can learn something, and you see, our educational our educational system is very problematic because we hold up as intelligent those who are able to answer questions correctly. Now, answering questions correctly means it could mean two things. It can mean you understand it enough to answer it correctly, or it means you can mimic enough. Mimicry is not bad, but I think mimicry is good if it's in applying something that can help you. But you see,
understanding.
If I can remember a formula and regurgitate it, or understand a procedure and show that I know it, is good enough, but it's not good to solve a problem. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we have to start saying, how are we using our knowledge to change society? Okay, how are we using our privilege as a people? And this is where book long becomes the problem. So what is book long? Book long is you know a lot of theories, but you have not used it in any way. We need academics because academics always push knowledge to the next level. Yeah. An academic can say, I've studied various economic systems, and I can tell you that this path you are going, you may make a mistake.
Right.
So we need that to help us. But we also need practitioners, and we also need practitioner academics who know and use. So if you are appointing somebody to run something, so when you give Tony Otinjesi University Council chair, because he runs a company, and because he knows what it means to pay salaries, and because he knows how to produce a product, he sees the university as a product, that a system that produces products. So he's not just saying how many people have we graduated. He's asking what do they know. Okay, what can they do? For a country like Ghana, I think that's the model leader.
But that's why it's exciting that tomorrow Dr. Tony Atinjesi will join other PSC's lawyers.
It's actually today.
It's today.
No.
Thursday. It's today, 4 p.m.
Yes.
So if you want to hear more from Dr. Tony Jesse, it will be happening tonight at the British Council, the Swedro Conversations. As well, the key speaker, the main speaker is David Ofosu-Dote, another very practical,
so let me give you an example of David as well.
Knows his stuff, uses his knowledge to say.
So David didn't come to law as the normal route, and sometimes so you see, generally people go to Legon or somewhere, they do an LLB, and then they go to Makola and they become lawyers. We need those people. They can become attorney general, they can become very good lawyers. But David he's more eclectic. He started from some
transport or something. He did
mobility. I think he started from Polytechnic or something.
Polytechnic.
He's a mobility and transport logistics guy. But I'll tell you that a lot of the laws that have been drafted, for example, the Public Investment Division of the Ministry of Finance, a lot of the PPPs they did, he helped draft those laws. It's because when you have a practitioner scholar, they have the best of two worlds. Yeah. Okay, because I always say that there's a certain journalism I know that you can't be taught in a classroom. So I usually restrict myself when I'm giving public lectures to media because that's what I know. Yeah. And I know it in a way that
it's more intimate.
I don't know it because I got a first class in journalism. Yeah. All right. Or I don't know it because I went to Colombia to study it. There's a place for that. I know it because for 20 years I've interviewed people, I've gone to follow stories, I've launched campaigns, I've led teams to cover elections. Do you understand? I've done it in a way that I can prove it. It's at my fingertips. I want to urge Ghanaians to be practical because you know why? Most of the things we discuss every day, road crisis, Accra is not. is because we don't have practical people leading us. Okay, we are very bookish. Look, if somebody runs a company for 3 years in Ghana, he can do a lot of things. I think we need to encourage, some countries encourage military service, national service. We should also encourage, for example, if you want to be a DC, I think you should run something. Run a department, run a school, run a newsroom. I'm not saying you should all be business people, because this is not about business, but he's run a company before. I can say, under a boss, I've run a unit. I am the deputy head of a company. I've run something, at least, so it's not just about theory. You need to know how to run something. So if you just take somebody who's very intelligent and just say, come and be a DC for an area. Because when you are running something, there's a way you know people beyond reading it in books. Somebody comes to you, I'm sick, I want sick leave. Somebody says this person is doing this. It even helps you to know people. Okay? And the countries, so if you take the typical Ghanaian political leader, what does he really know? What kind of preparation do you need to lead an organization? It's a very complicated, do you understand? And I feel like we emphasize a lot on he speaks well, he's articulate, he's knowledgeable. Knowledgeable is not onimumao.
What do you have to show for it?
If you say, because there's a certain look, he knows what it means to lead a media house. It's a knowledge. You can read the theory of running a company, but you don't know it. So I want to encourage the president to appoint people who are practically knowledgeable. And I want to encourage the media to hold up and interview more practical people. Because there are too many theoreticians in the country. And you see, yesterday you were not here. I read an excerpt from the Legon Observer, 18 to 31st August 1967. Godfred, that excerpt, if I read it without mentioning the date, if essentially Accra was not properly planned.
I listened to it.
And you think that since 1967 to 2025,
the problems are the same.
Right. So I think, apart from the mindset of the Ghanaian, we are not promoting practical leaders. Pragmatic. You see, the problems of Accra, the problems of Kumasi, the problems of our spaces are problems that need to be solved by pragmatic leadership. Leadership that's on the ground. Leadership that's, that has a certain sense of reality. I feel a lot of people can speak English. They can read nice speeches. Okay? And the other problem is that in our society, once you make somebody a leader, we force them to just, I'll give you an example. I was at a program last week. They would do a program, we can give a nice speech, say one or two things and go. All right? I feel like the real work is not about that. There's more to be done than that. But it's like if you can read a good speech and speak well, they say you are good. But what can you change? What's your track record of reform? Okay? We should be able to say, after a year, when we interview any minister, give us your 1 year scorecard on reform. So yesterday when I was interviewing Mutala, I asked him, okay, when should I call you again for another interview? Because you've told me what you want to do. You've been in office for 2 weeks, no problem. So if you come back in June or you come back next year, February, I don't want you to come and tell me that Galamsey is a problem. I want you to tell me this and this is what we've done and this has been the consequence. That's pragmatic leadership. So we have to even change the way we interview people after a year. This month, everybody has a honeymoon. They all come and speak English. Oh, when I come, I'll do this. You understand? Because they're all new. Next year by now, Kofi Bua, you've been in office for 1 year. What's the Galamsey story looking like? Because most leaders like to explain the problem. We don't want that. And I think the president should begin to give pragmatic benchmarks to his appointees. Tell the agriculture minister the top 3 things he needs to do before 2028. Tell the lands minister that, you just understand what I'm saying, and the media will hold them to say, when the president appointed you, he said you're going to do this, that. Why are you there? Otherwise, we are just going to keep talking, and it's not going to change anything. So, sorry, Otinjesi, for using your name. But happy birthday to you. He's 70 years old.
Wow.
Actually, he did some nice party over the weekend.
No, it's a correct man. It's a proper man.
But if you see the people who showed up at that party at Thomas Aquinas and other places, so you will know that he's a proper man.
Let's uphold pragmatic leaders.
You know, Bernard, I took a school tour 2 weeks ago somewhere, talking about what is pragmatic, you know. And, you know, when I came back, I remember walking to you and saying, we will struggle for a while as a country because...
Oh,
you
when was this? Last week?
2 weeks ago. Remember when I came back from my school, the school I visited on a Saturday, and then I came to tell you that, Charlie, I visited the school's workshop, and this was not even this was a primary school.
Why? What happened?
You see, the dedication to applied learning from that age.
Oh, yeah. I remember you said.
Yeah, the dedication to applied learning from that age.
Their products will be ahead of our normal products.
Our kids will struggle to deal with those European kids.
Because at an early age, they're already...
You know, so when you were dealing with, in most of our educational setups, not all of them, when, for instance, they are teaching you about photosynthesis, or they are teaching you about germination, or they are teaching you about this, the teacher will just talk about it and go away. Right? Yeah. But for these kids, you have to actually undertake the process by yourself. So everybody has to grow a plant. Everybody has to make observations of the plant. Everybody has to be able to see those things that they've been taught in the class on the plant and take notes of it over a period.
And build their own knowledge base.
On it. Wow. I went to their geography class, for instance. And even how they were being taught about this country was very different.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
From what we have experienced as students and what our kids are experiencing. So that's what when I came back, I was telling you that we will struggle. Because if I even looked at the quality, and again, this is privileged surroundings. So, but even the workshop that was available and what the workshop was meant to do,
it's high level.
You know, for kids who are aged between 10 and 17.
They're already using workshops and things.
By the time that kid leaves, you've always made this point. What did we what did we use our technical drawing for? What did we use technical skills for?
Yeah.
They live it.
There was a day I interviewed somebody last week, and the guy said he did TD.
Yeah.
And do you know there are people who didn't know what TD was?
Really?
There are people who don't know what a drawing board is.
Hey, we have suffered though.
But you see, I think we missed the trick because you see, in Fantasy School, when you do science, generally they dominated the engineering because they were combining technical with pure science.
Pure science.
So when the guy said he was doing TD, somebody called the show and said, "What is TD?"
Oh, nice.
And our kids in private schools, do you know what a drawing board is?
Some of them should.
Are you sure?
Do you know what a drawing board is?
I'm not there.
Did you go to?
Because it would be unfair to
No. I'm asking. But did you go to JSS? You didn't.
No, he didn't.
So you don't know what a drawing board is?
He's on a different system.
But were you drawing? Okay, technical drawing is basically learning how to.
I've seen it with like
2D,
the T-square
3D, yes.
and that kind
so
of stuff.
it helps you to sort of visualize things from different angles. So let's assume like this phone. They can help you draw it from 3 perspectives. It's almost like the basic drawing that you need to do design or architecture or any type of engineering.
I guess we kind of did that in art. We had arts class, so we kind of do
but
that.
art, no, this one is rigid.
This is rigid.
So they will give you a piece of wood and they'll ask you to show its front perspective, its side and back. So basically, to be able to represent this from 4 dimensions, so that if they split it into 2, you know what it is. That was what we did in GSS and GSS. It's called TD.
Yeah.
Now the education system, you see, and I actually think we are changing the thing too much. So now my children, they don't know what a drawing board is, and they are happily going to school, but and they'll say, "Oh, they are coding."
But maybe they have other things that you don't have.
I agree that they are coding, but bro,
but I feel like that sounds more like math to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Yeah, but it was a practical way.
Like it was a practical way in math, if anything.
But were you doing drawings in math?
Well, I guess what we used to do is we might have to rotate shapes. Or they might give us
you guys are using computers.
No, like they can give you like a shape. Like let's say they do
a lot of cognitive skills.
I don't know how to explain it, but they can give you like a what's that thing called? A cuboid.
A cuboid, yes.
And then they'll make it flat. Like they'll kind of
yes. And then you have to fold it and show if there are holes in it. How many holes
and
would
they can
you get?
even show you the drawing of it.
Yeah, but we were actually made to draw it.
Yeah.
Number 2, we were made to even cut. I don't know about your technical skills.
Yes.
one of your practicals that you have to build a joint.
Yes.
They'll take you to
very basic. You build
this thing, a workshop. They'll give you a blank piece of wood. You are supposed to demarcate it, saw it, use the plane, and then create. I did a dovetail joint.
We all did dovetail joints.
Do you know what the dovetail joint is? It's very complicated. So a dovetail joint is like the tail of a dove, like this, and then you're supposed to do a joint that fits before you get your marks. So my technical skills that I got 1 in BC, I had to do a dovetail joint.
We were going to school with wood to go to the school workshop.
So if a chair breaks in my house, I can fix it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So maybe I'm just going back to say I plead with the educational forum, please. We don't need people to go and do grammar knowledge to say they are knowledgeable. We need people who are practical to solve our problems. All right. So I just want to plead with the guys doing the educational forum this week. If people are going across the country, they should find a way of bringing practicality. Every school must have a workshop. Every school must have a proper lab. You know, because if a school has a proper workshop, then the kids can try their hands on things, not just to read and write. Because our problems are practical problems. We don't need theoreticians alone. We need practitioners too. So that's my 2 seconds.
But we have practitioners, because yesterday when you're reading the document, what I was telling myself was maybe there are 2 angles I see this from. Quickly before Susu comes in with tech and social media. We are not trained to make difficult decisions because we are afraid to upset people. Okay. And so we have a long line of acquiescence and making easy decisions because nobody wants to be the leader who is accused of toppling the system. So everybody does just enough not to upset the public and just enough to keep the society going. So nobody has done enough to actually move us. Because all the decisions that will move us are really, really unpopular decisions.
That's a problem.
There isn't a single decision that will move us significantly that will be popular in this country.
So is the problem what we want?
All of us. You see, because again, it comes back to the education question. Because we as citizens who are at the end of the thinkers we will get, what will be our appreciation of those decisions, of those applications? Because it has to also be based on our understanding of it. If we don't understand it, what is good for me will look like you are trying to kill me.
That's true. That's true.
So I will not accept it. And that is where I think therein lies
the problem. And so you have to, so there are 2 things you do. As media, you need to let people know what is actually right for them. So that the leader, when the leader has the courage to apply that solution, he does not sort of lose the people. Okay, because the leader too cannot say, I know what's right for you, so to hell with you. In a democracy, you need to listen to the people. But sometimes the people's level of appreciation of where they want to go may not be what they actually need. So that ability to cast vision, but also get people to bring them along is the eternal challenge. So lots of leaders give up and say, you know what, if this is what they want, let me just do it for them. And at the end of the day, you'll be popular, but you don't bring change. Because you need at some point, you need to have you need to tell yourself, like it's your kids. Do you want your kids to be happy now or to be better? Sometimes you have to choose that I want my kids to be better. So I'll do difficult things for them. They want to watch television. I say, no, you're not going to watch TV this week. You can cry all you want, but you're going to do something else. You can make yourself a popular parent by just making them have what they want, and you destroy them. It's the same thing. Sometimes you have to say, look, guys, this is what you think you want, but based on what I see, this is not what actually you need. All right? And that, what democracy does, though, is that it forces leaders to err towards popularity as against immortality. Right? That's the problem. So Kwame Nkrumah and some of those who have gained immortality, I mean, when they overthrew them, people were happy.
Very, very, very happy. Because all the decisions were crazy.
So we need to think through this carefully. So let's do tech and social media trends. Who is the sponsor?
First Bank Ghana and Telecel. If you're sending money to Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone, it's very easy. Through the Pan-African Payment and Settlement Systems PAPS, you can send and receive money from the Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone in minutes. All you need to do is to visit any First Bank Ghana branch nationwide with your cash, and your money is transferred in no time. To receive money, you will need a First Bank Ghana account. This is one way we'll put you first. Please call 0596 921 921 to find out more. And switch to Telecel fixed broadband today. Experience incredible bonuses, non-expiry bundles, data transfers across devices, and lots more. If you're a new customer, you get 50% bonus data in addition to other mind-blowing offers. If you have an existing customer, you receive 300% bonus data on every broadband renewal. Subscribe, dial star 900 hash, use the Telecel Play app, visit Telecel retail outlets or telecel.com.gh and get connected. Terms and conditions apply. Telecel, connecting energies.
Yes, so tech and social media trends. So I'll start. There was a lot of football last night, but I'll start with the non-football. So our friends at Weasel TV are trending. So,
Why?
well, some members of the public have expressed their dissatisfaction with the fact that Weasel TV is being used to do official broadcast, and some people have also said, well, Weasel TV supported the NDC when they were in the wilderness, so it's their time to be rewarded. So, there's some discussion over social media whether it's proper for Weasel TV to be doing some of the things they are doing right now, and obviously people are giving their opinions on the matter. So
it's trending.
Yeah, it's a big trending topic. What do you have something to say?
What I want to say, I've said already.
Oh,
okay.
On the same platform.
Okay, so you've been discussing this on the platform. Okay, next one.
Of course, and now there's sports. So there were some big matches last night. There was Champions League. There was also a big Premier League game. Liverpool, Aston Villa. I'm sure Bernard, you would have wished to watch, but you were preparing. You were preparing.
The funny thing was that my guest said he was an Arsenal supporter before. So whilst Liverpool equalized 2-2, I said, yeah. Then he said, nah. So we went on air. So,
yeah, so number one in the trends, Nunes. So Darren Nunes is trending.
Empty net if you know if he score.
Yeah, Darren Nunes is trending because of his.
Those are the hardest ones.
Sell him to Saudi Arabia. Sell him to Qatar. Sell him to Venezuela. Sell him anywhere.
Frustrated Liverpool.
This is not don't come here. This is not don't come here. This is tech and social media.
What he refused to learn as a teenager is how hunting him as an international.
So yeah, it's a lot of football trends. So number two, Kylian Mbappe is trending. He scored a great hat-trick against Manchester City in the Champions League last night to help Real Madrid advance to the round of 16 in the Champions League. So now the real knockout rounds are beginning. This was the playoffs. This was the preliminary. So Mbappe is trending, great performance, and another
scored a hat-trick.
Yes,
this is the real Mbappe.
Another disastrous performance for Man City and another disastrous results for Pep Guardiola. So number 4, Ademola Lookman.
Is it Ademola?
Ademola Lookman. Yes.
Ademola.
Lookman is trending. Why? He and his coach Gasperini are trending because Gasperini said he's the worst penalty taker I've ever seen. I don't understand why he took the penalty. And Lookman came and responded and said, actually, the penalty taker asked me to take the penalty. I've worked very hard for the club, so I'm very disappointed with the coach's comments.
This guy scored a hat-trick for you in your last final that you won. I think the coach should show a bit more respect.
Well, that you see, if we want to go into that topic, the coach doesn't respect any player. This has been shown throughout his time at the club.
It's terrible.
He's fallen out to a lot of top players. They've gotten rid of him. In fact, one of their previous captains, Alejandro Papu Gomez, claimed that the club president is actually afraid of the coach.
Because the coach is older than him.
No, because the coach has put the club where it is.
Yeah, they were nothing without
He's basically Italian Alex Ferguson. Minus the titles, of course.
Yeah, and just to give an example of the coach's behavior, so Papu Gomez claimed that the coach physically tried to attack him.
Look at that.
And he realized that he had messed up because he didn't want to listen to the coach's tactical instructions. So he said, look, I've erred, you've erred. I would like an apology. I'm willing to apologize. So he apologized. Gasperini didn't apologize. He went to the president and said, I've apologized for my part. He attacked me. He won't apologize. And the club president said, don't worry. And then they sold him later. So it looks like Gasperini has a lot of power.
Gasperini is a big man.
And naturally,
they're frustrated.
And people are also pointing out the fact that Matteo Retegui, their striker, missed 2 penalties earlier in the season. And Gasperini didn't have these words. In fact, he said, Retegui played well, so if he missed the penalty, it doesn't matter. So people are wondering whether there's a racial element and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of discussion and discourse about the penalty incident and whether Lookman deserved this treatment. For one would say Lookman was unfairly treated for sure.
Yeah.
But I also
he should leave the team.
Well, he tried to leave in August. That's the thing. he actually didn't train for a few days because he didn't want to
Which
get
team
hit.
wanted him?
The reports were PSG wanted him, but they didn't place a bid. So I think, for all you know, Gasperini is a bit frustrated with Lookman from before. This is how I see it. I don't think it's because of
I
that.
think
But
Man U needs him. Man U needs anything now.
He's okay, please. He's okay.
Give me tech news.
Yes, tech news. So Australia, we spoke about this earlier. They brought out a ban on social media for kids. They didn't want kids under a certain age to go on social media, and the age limit was under 16. But they are finding out that the kids are still getting on social media and bypassing the age limit. So they are worried about the effectiveness of the policy if kids are still getting on social media. So and we've spoken about this before, about kids on social media, the type of content that's there, the moderation and that kind of stuff. So that's why Australia tried to set these rules in place, but it looks like it's not having the desired effect because kids are still managing to bypass
finding
it.
their way there. That's the problem. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. Thank you, Susu Graham. 8:15, tech and social media trends.
Auntie T, I beg, fix me go betete Ghana. No gari, no oil, no plantain, just beans then eggs.
Hey, bruh, that be dangerous combination, no?
Problem no day. I feel handle am.
For Telecel, with the Bob say everybody gets what they like. That be why Made For Me bundles day. Based on your usage, you fit get your own data and call packages. Fala! Made For Me bundles like the way you the want them. That *530#, then buy Made For Me bundles today.
Telecel, connecting energies.
You're looking for a bank to rely on? Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. Who do we seek out to bank? No lie, only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking, it's in me here on the date. I'm a busy person, me no many time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. They tell me office a chilly, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first.
Nobody feed do I'm like us. Do I'm like us. First Bank, we treat you first. Treat you first. Think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This year, something magical is happening. A celebration of tradition, flavor, and community. Welcome to the Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025.
Taste the heart of your heritage with mouth-watering dishes from across the country like Ademe with Akple, Tozafi with Ayoyo soup, Kokonte, Apopranta, Rare Kwine, and many more. From rich spices to sweet treats, it's a journey for your senses. We're taking you back to your village.
Oh yes, let's recreate our age-old recipes.
But it's not just about food, you know. We're celebrating culture, connecting with family, and making memories that last a lifetime.
This March, let's come together and discover the flavors that make us who we are. The date is 29th and 30th of March 2025. The venue, Accra Metropolitan Assembly, and the time is 10 a.m. through till 6 p.m. each day.
The Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025, where food, fun, and tradition meet. See you there.
Interested vendors should call 0558-973-973 or 0205-973-973 to register. The Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 City FM.
I'm gonna lie. We're going to take to America. No check that one. I'm funny. I am a new home. Who got that in them?
Fly Emirates from Accra to Dubai and beyond and start your holiday on board. Enjoy complimentary food and drink. Explore up to 6,500 channels of entertainment, including live sport. Stay connected with onboard Wi-Fi and relax in comfort with world-class service all the way. You get so much more in Emirates Economy. Book your next getaway at emirates.com. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Ajua, Mr. Atu and the family will be visiting us today.
Really? But who is picking them up?
Oh, I've asked Yao Taxi to go get them. But do you know he got a new car after the accident?
How? Within a week?
Yes, oh. I'm told he insured his car with Sunu Assurances.
Sunu? I heard my boss discussing them in the office. But we also insure... Yes, please come in. Oh, Mr. Ato, you're welcome.
Guys, I overheard you talk about insurance.
Yes, so Kwame was talking about how the taxi driver got...
When it comes to insurance, you need a reliable partner. And that's Sunu Assurances. I have been with them all these years, and they always come to my rescue. Look, they have packages as motor, marine insurance, and other policies. And they are even running a promo that comes with a lot of souvenirs.
Guys, then let's all go to the office now.
Hey, Ajua, take your time.
Let's go.
All you need is to either call them or send them a message on 055-257-1980. With Sunu, you can be rest assured that your future is assured. Buy insurance now.
Hey, dear Niham, sir. Stay soft concentrate fabric softener. I was such it move. Just send it this way. You have it now. New it's now. No, be a baby, some was some demon in us. Dear Niham, say. Use Stay Soft and it's now Nani wants to tap from cry. A fabric softener, a year near Caesar. Choose to Stay Soft. No, so say no. FDID a dreading crowd to Yatu.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Minutes past 8. Next time you fly from Accra, why don't you fly better with Emirates? In Emirates Economy, you can enjoy endless entertainment on board with up to 6,500 channels to choose from. Sit back, relax, and watch the latest Hollywood and Bollywood blockbusters, comedy box sets, or even live sport. You can even stay connected with onboard Wi-Fi so you can chat with friends and family and share holiday selfies from 40,000 feet above sea level. You'll get so much more in Emirates Economy. Enjoy more convenience and flexibility to over 140 destinations within the Emirates Global Network. Find out more at emirates.com. Financial freedom, peace of mind, smooth retirement planning, all available at Old Mutual. We're not just about mere phrases. These form the DNA of our well-being. So whether it's making sure your child's education is taken care of when you're no more, insuring lives, or saving to start a business or preparing for retirement, Old Mutual is that insurance company that cares for what truly matters to you the most. Call today 0307 0000600. That's 0307600, or visit oldmutual.com.gh for more information. Old Mutual, do great things. And Volkswagen wants to be part of every moment in the life of every great man or woman. We want to be there when you start your new family, when you arrive on time for that important social gathering, when hastening to resolve an emergency, when the family's on a road trip, when you have to chill with your boys and girls on a weekend. The new Terramont will carry all your special moments in its renowned, spacious 7-seater. 3.5 litre V6 petrol engine producing 280 horsepower. It will take you home safely, selling from 712,000 Ghana cedis. Call or WhatsApp 025-795-6688. We also have the Virtus, the T-Cross, the T1, the Allspace, the Terramont, and the Amarok pickup.
Now, are you ready to drive innovation and take the next step in your career? Apply for Ashesi University's Master's Program, which combines world-class education with African relevance regardless of your career aspirations. An Ashesi Master's Program equips you with the skills, ethics, and network to lead boldly. Applications are open for 2025 cohorts. Learn more at ashesi.edu.gh. And if you're looking for litigation-free land, Royal Kingdom Estate is here for you. They specialize in land acquisition, construction, and everything along the value chain, with properties in prime areas like Accra and Ebri. Land starts at 90,000 cedis. They offer flexible payment plans, affordable homes. There are 2 bedrooms and premium furnished apartments for short rentals in East Airport. So visit Cantonment's opposite Soul Clinic International School. Call 055 755 909 0272 77880. Info at Royal Kingdom Estate is the email address. Royal Kingdom Estate, building communities, nurturing dreams. Bernard, today is the birthday of Mrs. Samilia Na Dodua Ankra of CFAO Motors. Okay. You deserve an amazing celebration because you are indeed a good woman from your Swesco 85-year group family. Going out to Mrs. Samilia Na Dodua Ankra of CFAO Motors. Good morning to you. And when was the last time you dewormed, my friends? It's highly recommended that you deworm frequently. That's where Vermox comes in. The new Vermox banana flavored dewormer from Johnson & Johnson gets rid of worms. It's available in both tablet and suspensions and is suitable for both children and adults. Vermox banana flavored dewormer is good for you, bad for worms. For more information, call 0556 319 624 now. It's not recommended for children under 2 and pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved. And Bernard, talking about education today, graduation is happening around the country, and someone is a valedictorian. Bernard,
Frima Edunyame is graduating with a master's degree.
Thank you.
In something.
Yes, sir. And she's the valedictorian.
What does that mean? On behalf of her mates.
That's right.
To think that she was doing this while working, I think it's very, very impressive. Frema, congratulations to you. You know, going back to Lagos, I've always said, Charlie, to go back to Lagos, it will take some doing, but she's done well. To go back to her alma mater and do a master's degree there. You know, when you went to Lagos first, you were not known, so you can hide and learn. But now you are Frema Edunyame, you are in Lagos. Hey, Frema, answer the question.
Ask, oh my God.
And she managed to still graduate.
I'm very happy because I used to sit next to her in the old newsroom when I first came.
Frema is solid. Frema is solid.
That's my big woman.
So she's gotten her master. What's the master's degree in?
I think
it will be in something.
Marketing or something.
We will find out soon. But congratulations. I'm particularly also proud.
Was she your mate at Legon?
Yes, Frema was my group mate actually.
Dondology.
Oh, no.
Why do you keep misbehaving?
But it's a good name.
No, it's not.
Dondology.
Because that limits it to just a drum.
God, are you great? That's
this is part of the problem we are talking about.
Do you know that in directing,
yes,
one of my courses was social psychology?
Mm.
Does that sound like dondology to you?
Oh, don't do that.
One of my courses was budgeting.
Right.
Does this sound like dondology to you?
Thank you.
Talk to him.
Dramatic interpretation. Does it sound like dondology to you?
You are taking the thing personal.
We have to deal with the matter.
Very important down for you.
Yes.
By the way, dondology was practical knowledge. If you did the theater art, look, I'll tell you something. I used to actually go to school of, what's the name of this place? The place they show them the plays.
Yes.
Almost every Friday to go and watch because the student directors were actually doing performances. There was a certain season where like every week there would be it was so nice.
I used to,
and these were student directed, student produced.
I used to go a bit when I
I used to go a lot. I used to go a lot as well.
What you just said, most of the people I studied with who passed through the School of Performing Arts, I don't know what but from my generation, are some of the most well-rounded people you will meet. They can function anywhere.
What does it teach you? That's different from what we learn in book long class. So like if you did directing,
mental agility.
So if you did directing, would you to be able to graduate, would you have to direct a play?
Yes, I did. My
full play.
My final year project was
that people come and watch and pay for.
Yes.
Serious.
In fact, in my year, I had pretty high grossing production.
And are you supposed to market it?
Yes, it's part of what you're doing.
So
let me tell you. Do you know who was doing the marketing for me at the time? The host of Ekosi saying, Obi.
Why was he also a Dondology student?
Yes. Obi was my production manager.
So let me get this straight. You are supposed to produce and market and perform a play.
A production, yes, on a budget. The school gives you a budget.
Serious?
Yes. A very limited budget.
So the amount of money we paid at the gate to come and watch you it went to you?
No, it went to the school. The school takes everything because the school has given you. The school is the producer. The school has given you money.
Because I went to watch Tit for Tat. I laughed my head off.
Yes.
I think it was Ofata who produced it at the time. And there were a number of productions that they were showing. I think it was Fridays from like 6 p.m.
Yeah. So I did Dilemma of a Ghost Star.
How many people were in your cast?
Mami Mensa Bonsu.
Hey.
Fifi Coleman.
Hey.
Wow.
Edinate.
Hey.
Is it Selena Oscar?
And all these were students in the department?
Yes. And in the school.
So how many days did you rehearse?
This was a final year project. We rehearsed for almost 2.5 months.
So did they also get marks for acting?
Yes, because some are doing production participation, some are doing acting, some are doing lights, some are doing set design.
And you were doing direction.
Yes.
So all of you work together.
Yes.
So set design are born, then the marks will affect you.
Yes, but set design is such a specific skill that in the class there are only maybe 3 or 4.
So
our winner Krofi, for instance, if you recall, he used to play the drums back then, was my set designer. Daniel DeLong, you know Daniel DeLong?
I know Daniel DeLong, yeah.
Yes.
Formerly of
yes, he was behind. He was 2 years or so behind me. Brilliant set designer.
So you produced Dilemma of a Ghost.
Yes.
You at the top of the.
No, we at the time our year group came up with. Our year group was the group that decided to move productions from the F1 Sutherland's drama studio to the amphitheater. It hadn't been done in almost.
I went to
3
Sutherland.
decades.
I didn't watch it.
When
myself,
I
Nicholas Amenyeji, Marcia, Abigail, that generation, we went to weed that place.
But you see what I mean by practical knowledge. So, like he can actually direct a production. So you don't need to go and say so you can't even pass if you can't direct.
No.
So that's very practical. I think that's great. Yeah. What did you get? Did you get A?
You should know me by now.
You got A plus.
No, you know why you can't be sure. Legon they are wild though.
Yeah, but I was an outstanding student.
To get A in Legon, get an A in Legon is tough. So Legon can be very difficult.
Oh, I know.
To get.
I know.
So congratulations to Frema.
Yes.
But I thought Ivy and Vivian too were with her. So maybe they also graduate this week or some next week because the whole graduation.
I think it ends this week, so all of them will graduate.
Friday,
today
I think tomorrow the sciences will be graduating tomorrow.
Frema, congratulations on being nominated as the class valedictorian. You've done very, very well to combine this crazy job at Citi with that academy. I don't think I can combine work with school. I don't think I can.
You are too busy.
I can't. But no, she did well too. Because sometimes they'll be doing, like there was a day I was in a meeting and she was having a Zoom class. I was like, Charlie, what is this? And I think there was one year on Heritage Caravan or so, and she was on a Zoom call.
Charlie.
Zoom too has helped us.
Oh, yeah.
So congrats on that.
Yeah.
Speaking of practical education, I have some comments coming through.
A whole lot of
but
them.
Bread lovers, Bread Boutique has opened their latest branch at Tesano.
Oh,
Tesano.
Bernard, you mean the Bread Boutique itself?
They've come to Tesano. Gidi.
My God.
So those of you in the precincts of North Kaneshi, in Tesano, in those areas, please drive through. It's called Zuzu Restaurant.
Yeah, Zuzu Restaurant.
It's on the Abekan Road.
Yes,
adjacent Zuzu Restaurant. Charlie, go and tell them Bernard said you come and buy bread. Yes, and try their marble bread. It's good.
Marble bread.
They have all kinds of bread.
What's marble bread?
Charlie, they have tuna bread. They have chocolate bread. They have milk bread.
Marble
they have
bread.
butter bread. They have soy milk bread.
Oh,
they have.
No, Bernard, we have
coconut bread.
We have to break bread.
They are crazy.
So we have to break bread.
Me, I like the tuna
marble
bread. When you take tuna bread, it's like a whole lunch. So go and try them. You don't like eating a lot of tuna bread.
I like sugar bread actually.
They don't have a bread called sugar. Hold on.
Okay.
They don't have a bread called sugar bread, but there's sugar bread.
They will definitely have sugar bread. There's no way.
So that sugar bread is normal bread.
No. No, sugar bread is different.
Me, the bread I actually likes is tea bread. The one with powder. Do you know powder?
Powder.
Charlie, you know, you are too posh. See, tea bread, when you take the tea bread,
that's what you mean.
No, tea bread with powder.
I'm not a fan. I like condensed milk.
Wow. When you have hot tea bread, which can break easily. Oh my God, tea bread.
But the hot tea bread with his condensed milk plus the powder, no.
Okay.
It's something.
No, but you need Awuza cocoa on that.
Whichever way.
Tea bread goes with Awuza cocoa. Tea bread is good though.
Whichever way.
You know, a lot of these new fancy breads, they don't do tea bread. They are disrespecting tea bread. They are doing all kinds of new.
Tea bread is the penny. In
fact,
the bread
I'm going
industry.
to, if they don't start doing tea bread, you know, there are a lot of new bread companies now. All these
Most of them don't touch
they don't do tea bread. Meanwhile, tea bread is the bread of the people.
A bread of life.
Tea bread is our.
But we also don't need those people to touch tea bread. If those people
Those
touch
bread-
tea bread, we don't need them to touch tea bread.
Yes, it's important.
Tea bread is the bread of our commune.
Yes. Well, why did they make it long?
Very long. Whichever way, it is the bread of our communes. Yes.
And
keep it close to us. We don't want it bougified.
The edge sometimes can be very pointed.
Yeah, I just had some this morning. We don't want it bougified, please. Tea bread and your margarine, you are good to go.
So bread boutique is in Tessa now.
Yes,
that's fine.
Yeah, so pass there.
We'll see what we can.
Now, let me just say something quickly. Now, well, inadvertently, when I was discussing this leadership thing, I didn't know that. Of course, I didn't link it, but there's a big program today.
Yeah.
So Swedru Conversations is actually going to have a discussion about leadership.
Yeah.
So if you want more like solidity on this discussion we've had, is it 3 or 4 p.m.?
4 p.m. sharp at the British Council. The main speaker is David Ofosu-Dote, and the panelists are Dr. Tony Oting-Jesse. You have Mavis E. Queno, Esquire, and then also lawyer Kweku Eya. They are all PCs, and the topic is the political leadership conundrum. Balancing Leadership and Change is an annual thought leadership event by the Alumni Association of Swedru Senior High School. So
and it's open to the public.
Yeah.
So basically, if you want a place to discuss leadership, the leadership challenge we have, you know, this whole we talk about leadership, people, what are people asking for, all those things. I think David Ofosu-Dote is one of our. I think I call him a public intellectual. It's not easy to be a public intellectual because you are basically sharing your ideas, and the whole world can criticize it. So go and listen to David. I hope it's live on Channel 1 television. Would it be?
I look forward to it as well.
Check with OJ.
I was actually hoping that yesterday's two will be there, but I didn't quite get it. But then we forgot Ogbo Adosu. She's also graduating today with Vivian, Ivy, and Ogbos. Professor Hayes.
They were all in the class. What course did they do? We need to check.
I will be provided with those.
Send me the details.
Ogbo Adosu is
Ogbo is graduating today.
Ogbos is graduating.
Vivian Kaluko is graduating today.
Yama, and then Ivy Odro is also graduating today, together with our valedictorian, the queen, the headmaster of the Dynamic Friday
so
class.
4 of our management
Senior
members
managers
all went to do a master's program.
Yama.
Wow. That's very good. At Legon.
It's exciting.
Congratulations. That means you have to do a party tomorrow.
The nation is very important. But that is the order.
I think the company should sponsor a party.
As Ogbo is even involved, it makes it better.
I mean.
Anyway, let me give you more messages from our earlier conversation.
Yeah.
I was recently talking to a friend who relocated and is studying IT to upgrade herself. I totally agree with Bernard because she's struggling. It's very practical rather than the chew and pour we run in our system. I know currently the GS is very practical, and I pray it stays so. A mix of the two rather than the regular chew pour pass forget thing we did. This is Akusia. You just nailed the problem of our education. We study to reproduce, write exams instead of solving problems. There's indiscipline in society. Use education to shape attitudes. The environmental issues, use education to fix it. I taught in Scandinavia. That is how they teach, right from the kindergarten level. How to function in your society. BB from North K says national development is more about the right orientation and vision, and not necessarily about being knowledgeable, good, etc. We have an educational system that doesn't teach anything about civic education and leadership, but has a course like religious and moral education, and also spend the whole of the Wednesday forcing every child to worship in the Christian way, whether you belong or not. What is religion doing in a school? This is the thoughts of BB. Kwame Luigi the farmer from Winneba says, good morning, guys. one of the major problems is that most of the lecturers have no practical knowledge or industrial knowledge. This makes the teaching more theoretical than practical. Until they start placing emphasis on real practical experience, the textbooks will reign. Good morning, Bernard and team. Great discussion. This colonial HR system of rewarding people who talk, manager over those who do, or practical is another problem.
It's true.
That's why all the practical guys are running from the fields into the offices as managers.
It's true.
Because most jobs disrespect practical guys. That's why all the polytechnics fought to become universities.
It's true.
And they also now follow the same system of churning out book-long graduates. Odote ni Odote from Achim Suedro. Engineer Kwame Foyu from Tema says, your man is talking about construction in math, where plane figures are transformed by rotation, enlargement, mirroring, etc. This is the conversation.
That's what you did.
Yeah. Guys, I have been in the school business for over 30 years, and our number one problem is the competition over which school did well in national examinations.
It's true.
Our curriculum is brilliant on paper, but the BCE, SSCE is our biggest problem. This is in here from Michelle Camp. Bernard, the subjects were 1, technical drawing, which was mostly draftsmanship or
Mr.
architecture
technical drawing.
the most basic level.
Yes.
2, technical skills, which
Mr.
dealt
Hassan.
with woodwork, carpentry,
Yes.
blockwork, masonry, and metalwork, blacksmithing.
Thank you.
Was in this subject that we all did operation and tools.
Then there was also vocational skills, Mr. Obey.
Yes. Robert Antieku from Sheffield, UK, says, good morning, Bernard. Thank you for this education. I work at the University of Sheffield as an electrician technician. We are a team of 7, 2 managers and 1 supervisor. None of us have been to a university.
Wow.
But we are practically running a high university in the country. Ghana needs practical people with skills
Can
to
you
run the country.
repeat that message?
It says, thank you for this education. I work at the University of Sheffield as an electrician technician.
Okay.
We are a team of 7, 2 managers and 1 supervisor. None of us have a university education.
Wow.
But we are practically running the university. Ghana needs practically skilled people to run the country.
100%.
People from people from the diaspora to bring change to our country. Robert Antieku is greeting me. Thank you, Robert Antieku.
Sheffield, UK.
Yeah.
It must be cold.
Very. Hello, Bernard. I finished junior high school in 1995 and I did technical skills.
You grow.
After JSS, I made a brand new kitchen stool for my mom.
Wow.
She was so excited.
It means this person is my mate.
Yes. I attended John Tay Memorial School. My name is Mokpokpo.
Mokpokpo, that's hope.
Mokpokpo.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I like it.
Mokpokpo. Lawyer Alex from Suhum. Is this Apia Abuaji Alexander?
Sounds like him.
Yeah. Triple A.
Yeah.
Hi, Bernard and team. You guys are nailing it this morning. Knowing how things are done is the way to turn this country. Do you know Triple A? Apia Abuaji Alexander.
I have a friend called lawyer Alex from Suhum. I don't know if it's the same guy.
I have a schoolmate also in Suhum who is lawyer Alexander. We used to call him Triple A from Pepper College. He used to run our school shops.
Okay.
New visual arts curriculum. Bernard, we have challenges with the visual arts curriculum. Students are now doing surface learning with no practicality. Teachers are now forced to teach all the various fields as one with no resources.
Let me tell you what I like about some of the new things. My kids go to a private school though, but I can tell you that the way the books they have this book they use to answer science questions. It's very practical.
Yeah.
So if they are doing biology, there's a way in which it's taught that makes it very practical.
Right.
All right. But it's a private school. Okay. Their computing lessons are also up to speed. So for example, they are asking them to do PowerPoint presentations. They're asking them, how do you change the font size of something? Like like when they are practicing, computing is teaching them. A lot of people in my newsroom need that knowledge.
That's actually IT, information technology.
No
Computer
problem.
science is how computers work.
No, I didn't call it computers. They call it computing.
I'm just saying that's how.
So
that's
the name of the course is called computing, but they do that type of thing. I didn't know this, and so there's that. Then they also do coding.
Right.
Okay. And they use all kinds of things, call it Scratch and things. I don't even know what the hell those things are, but they are basically doing those things.
That's how I had my basic Excel before I came and stuff.
So my point is that there are some good things about the new system. The trouble is that in the public schools, they don't have access to these things that readily.
Yes.
So you can go to a public school and they don't have any computer in the class. So you can't learn IT or computing without a computer. So that's the first problem. Then of course, the issue of lack of practical application. My worry for my kids in terms of those in the private schools that the practicality of the education is not really there. Okay, so I'm not trying to be romantic. I don't want to romanticize the past, but the kind of thing Godfrey spoke about, life skills, vocational skills, technical skills, and technical drawing, I think they are very important. Okay, because even learning how to sew with a needle and thread, even if, okay, let's not even talk about needle and thread. If you can cut a material, okay, sewing is a practical skill. So even if you use a sewing machine, how to cut a fabric is something you should learn. Okay, we were even doing practical cooking in JSS2, Mrs. Dakwa, life skills. They will divide us into groups and they'll give marks.
Class 6, Mrs.
Yes.
Bright, they do.
So you would, even some of the guys, you need to fund the thing, but you are part of it. You know, it helped with teamwork, but at least we learned that there were important things to learn. Cooking, vocational skills, calabash art, crayon doodling, etching, and all those things. In addition to technical and technical drawing, we cannot just have people whose orientation is just theoretical, and I think that's a very important thing we should discuss.
Bernard, Richard, Anim is a big player in the education space, dealing with coding, AI, and all of that here in Ghana. And he says that our current education system is anachronistic. AI has replaced our chew, poor, pass, forget system. A bot passed the New York bar in a few hours exam. The U.S. Medical Board exam, which takes 4 years to pass, was decimated by another bot in a few hours. We need to move from data, past knowledge, and apply wisdom and insight to solve our problems. And some of our viewers on YouTube, I mean,
what are they saying?
They're abroad. Professor Yao Nyako, he says he taught me at NYU, Shanghai, Baba.
Yeah.
I studied at Cape Coast Technical School. He goes on to say, I've gone through the ranks for a Chinese biotechnology company, and I'm currently the chief operating officer of the company. I manage more than 200 people. If I were in Ghana, I do not think I will have such an opportunity to exhibit my talent. Eric is watching from somewhere in Canada. How do you say that?
Montreal.
No.
Moncton.
Okay.
Oh,
It's how there was
that's
something
near
else
the
in there.
place I went to school.
He says he's listening and it's 4:41 a.m. In Moncton. Must be really cold. Eric, nice to hear from you.
It's probably -20 or something.
David from Adenta says a total review of the curriculum will help with practical studies from the basics. Bernard, let me quickly chip in a dedication that has come through from some friends. Today is the birthday of the director of Pent Media Center, Pastor Dr. Felix De La Cruce.
Wow.
And the team says your leadership, dedication, and vision continues.
Former journalist.
Yeah, now he's doing other callings, you know. It says your leadership, dedication, and vision continue to inspire all of us. We truly appreciate everything you do for us. May you keep shining and impacting lives. Enjoy your special day. So this is from Benjamin Z and the rest of the team.
Okay.
Petra Abba Asamoah says her husband is an awesome man. Yesterday was his birthday. Samuel Sena Asamoah, she's celebrating him today as yesterday he turned a year older.
All right, a few more comments coming through. We'll read them shortly. But that's my way of information. So actually, you are right. 4 of our people are graduates. So Ivy and Frema did marketing strategy MA.
Okay.
Ogbo did MA in supply chain management. And Vivian did an MA in business management.
Good.
So the Business School of the University of Ghana is graduating 4 of our ladies today. Ivy,
Vivian, Ogbo, and Frema.
yeah. So by the way, Ivy is our radio sales manager.
That's right.
What's her surname now? I forget.
Odro.
No, her husband's.
No, but she's always
Okay,
been
Ivy
running
Odro.
professionally.
So Ivy Odro, masters in marketing and strategy, and Frema doing in marketing.
Wow.
Ogbo supply chain and Vivian. So we need a party this weekend.
Very important.
To wash down the
Very,
Once
very
Ogbo is
important.
involved, there'll be a party.
Clearly.
Once Ogbo is involved,
Clearly.
there'll be a party.
Bernard, let me congratulate one other person who will be graduating tomorrow.
Who's this?
With a FAMD. That's my sister, Abigail.
Okay.
Mrs. Abigail Tego. So congratulations to you in advance.
Graduating where?
University of Ghana as well.
In what area?
FAMD.
What?
Pharmacy. Doctor of Pharmacy.
Hey.
Yeah.
And how can in them sir?
Sorry.
So it's a big thing.
Yeah.
Do you know how long you study to?
It's very difficult.
Yeah, just making it.
It's a very difficult program.
FAMD.
Mention it slowly.
FAMD.
Doctor of Pharmacy.
Yeah, Doctor of Pharmacy.
Correct one.
It's one of the more difficult programs.
Yeah. Charlie's
around.
And then congratulations to the former Amasaman MP Emmanuel Ni Okailai. He graduated yesterday with a second master's in accounting and finance. Interesting one. And then Ian Okwe. Ian Okwe runs Organic Wache. We know him better for TDC. And he has this Wache joint. He says
Ian Okwe.
Yeah, Ian TDC PRO.
Yeah, he says
wait. You are Russian.
Sorry.
The TDC PRO runs a Wache business.
He's supplied us before.
Organic Wache seller. He says he's back the masters in law. He's the only Wache seller with the masters in law.
Is the PRO work his official work?
Yes, he works at TDC.
And then he sells Wache. And then he also has a master's in law.
The Organic Wache is, Charlie.
In fact, I suspect tomorrow something will happen. Yeah, Ianokwe.
So Ianokwe is the one who does the Wache.
Yeah, man. Organic Wache.
Congratulations, but during your Akutampa speech, you said something again. But I don't know
the law thing.
Yes, I don't know whether was it accusatory.
Let me explain what I'm trying to say.
Because basically, you said that
first point I had was
you have journalists who are running to become lawyers.
Let me explain what I said.
Yes.
This is the context. Number one, I thought the Ghana Bar Association should have honored Akoto Ampao. And
this matter,
that was my opening speech, and I said,
I hope you told them.
You didn't listen to the full speech because that was the beginning.
Came from the middle.
So my point was that I think 4 or 5 years ago, GJA honored Akoto Ampao with one of our highest awards.
Yes.
Because we believe that he used the law to advance the cause of the nation, and journalists benefited a lot.
Yes.
And I was scandalized that the Association of Lawyers did not think that Akoto Ampao represents the type of lawyer we all want to be. And I said that the person you honor reflects how you see the cause. Because this is a man he's a brilliant lawyer. He's done some of the most complicated cases in the world. But he was also a human rights lawyer, and he did a lot of pro bono work. So professional excellence is there, community civic activism is there, academic rigor is there. So I feel like he's the kind of person you need to hold up and say, this is how young lawyers should behave. Okay, that was my first point. Then I said also that even though a lot more people are doing the law, I don't think, and I think it's actually because of this lack of appreciation of what people like Akoto Ampao have done. People see law just as a means to enrich themselves. And I said law is such an important cause that even if you get rich while doing it, the architecture society and the design society is basically law. So if most of your lawyers are just in for the money, it's not good for your country. Do you understand my point? And then I said number 3, a lot of the lawyers in the 1800s and the early 1900s, they were proud to be journalists too, because they believed that they had to disseminate their knowledge through media. So they were writers, some of them wrote books, some of them had columns. So a lot of lawyers in those days, being a journalist was an added plus. Now today,
those were not economic decisions.
Don't worry. Today,
that's what I'm saying. That like what you are saying is those were not economic decisions.
Mm-hmm.
These are economic decisions.
As in today, people wanting to do law as an economic decision.
Yes, they are economic decisions.
But there were economic decisions in those days to do law. You have to be privileged to do law.
No. Yes, but there was the first point you made. There was the love to be that. So, for instance, you could do so many other things.
Yeah.
You've made a choice to be this person.
Yeah.
To be in this.
Mm-hmm.
I could be teaching, but I've made it a point to be a career journalist, one who stays in the field,
just like me,
and works. Whichever work comes my way, I look at it and say, "This is what I want to do."
So this is the point I was making.
So the point I'm making is, I am not looking to go to law school.
Even if you did, you will still be a journalist. But my problem is that when they this is my thesis. When they go to law school, they want to now be lawyers. They don't want to be journalists again.
Yes, because it's an economic decision.
No, but I'm saying that it's because of the lack of activism mindedness. Because the lawyers of those times, journalism was a tool and a platform, not necessarily a profession.
But they were wealthy.
Not necessarily. What I'm saying is that for them, they were using the journalism to advance their real objective of trying to get change
the country. True.
I am saying that right now people are journalists who have a big platform. you can go and do law. But when you do the law, it should enhance your practice of journalism. Because the journalism is a platform. But they rather go to court to do courtroom practice because they just and I'm saying that the platform. So if your objective is social change, do you understand? If your objective is social change, you can still do law and be a lawyer, but you need to still use the media. But they don't. They just go to like. And I don't want to mention names. There were some lawyers I really loved and respected, journalists who went to do law. They don't do media again.
But you see, Bernard,
they are just in courtroom practice.
I want to say
I'm
something.
like, why?
I want to say something. I think. You see, you are.
There's a lady I know and really admire. I used to listen to her a lot. We don't hear of her again. She's just doing law.
But I want to say something. I want to say something. You are assuming that they even entered journalism because they cared about their country to change it. I think.
No, they did. When you listen to them initially, they probably did. They did.
I think that's the assumption you are making. That's not necessarily true.
They did.
Because just because someone talks the talk doesn't mean that that's what's in their heart.
Look, there's nothing wrong with courtroom practice. So I'm just saying that, you see, this is the way I consider journalism. Journalism is a privilege to do because at a young age, you get the chance to engage with knowledge in a very different way. If you do it very well, you're very knowledgeable. Okay, I've done it for 20-something years. I've been exposed to people who've given me, yesterday somebody came to compliment me and say, "Oh, Charlie, you are very knowledgeable." I said, "Look, the work I do, you cannot remain ignorant if you really want to do it. Yeah. So it forces you to learn. And I'm saying that's such a great platform. It gives you access to places, right? It doesn't pay that well. But the point is that it's a good opportunity.
Could you repeat that one?
It doesn't pay that well.
That's all.
No problem. But lecturing doesn't pay that well, but they still do it.
But you see, but that's what I'm saying.
It's the same thing.
It's the passion. But that's what I'm saying, Bernard. It's the passion. You have the passion for it. And you assume that those people have the passion. And the thing is, you have to remember, because it's a public-facing job, there's a level of performance involved. Mm-hmm. We can't ignore the fact that once it's a public-facing job, there's a level of performance. So to do it well, you have to sound a certain way, talk a certain way. But it does not necessarily mean that it's genuine. And I think that maybe you
there's also another problem. I also think one of the reasons why people prefer to be associated with law than journalism is that journalism as a profession has lost a certain degree of prestige because the entry barriers are much lower. So law as a profession is very exclusive and it's aristocratic. Yeah. So if you're a lawyer, you get respect. My argument is that you make your profession what it is by your excellence. I don't need to be a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer to be respected. I need to be an excellent journalist. So what I'm saying is that I prefer an excellent journalist to a lousy lawyer any day. I actually prefer an excellent plumber to a lousy doctor. So the point is, the excellence is more important than the area of practice. So it behoves on we, the people in the profession, to bring back the honor of the profession by doing it well. That's number one. Number two, the industry must also organize to make it more better paying, so we can keep better people in it. I agree. But I'm saying that whether you're a lawyer or a journalist, if social change is your objective, you cannot leave the field and just go and hide somewhere, because social change in the public square is very big. For example, I have lawyer friends, Albert Koshiga and co. They write articles, they put it online, Kelly Delata, because the knowledge they have is so important that you still need the media platform to disseminate it, because they still want social change. So he's lecturing in a university, but every now and again it comes on a question of law because he believes that he needs to educate the public. My problem is that journalists become lawyers and they disappear from the public space. They just go and sit in some law firm and then they just go to courtroom and they decide that they are not even journalists anymore.
Which is the message that hold on, Bernard. Right now we are too hungry. This is the message that has come for you, Bernard. Right now we are too hungry. Come hungry.
Every work you do, you can.
Let me finish the message for you.
If you do it well.
Let me give you a message.
Every work you do, you can do it well.
Let me read the message.
You read it.
Says Bernard. Right now we are too hungry. Come hungry to have passion for everything, to have passion for anything. We just want something to earn enough to be able to now think about just courses. Sorry to disappoint you.
Bernard, I want to add something about the well-paying part and the respect of the profession. I think some of the things we do as a practice is what leads to the lack of respect. And the well-paying,
responsible for that.
Yes, and the fact that it doesn't pay well is part. I think there was an article that came out a year or two ago. I saw that claimed that the average journalist in Ghana receives 1,000 cedis a month. That's very low.
Extremely
so
low.
That's not going to motivate you to work well. And that also affects their integrity. And I think the integrity is a big part. I think people don't trust journalists.
Yeah.
And can you blame them? Because there's a lot of journalists, when you hear them talk, they are not telling the truth.
Yeah.
And you know why they are not telling the truth. But you understand that if you are in the situation they're in, you can see why they can be compromised. And I think that it's never going to get better. Like you said,
we obviously need a better model for the business of journalism. All right. I think it's a social good. And therefore, there has to be some proper financing of it. Because we need journalists for a democracy to function well, whether it's donor aid or government or whatever model. There are many models. So if the business of journalism is to survive, so if the profession of journalism survive, the business must survive. All right. So some of it is not the doing of the journalists. All right. And people who are in managing media need to think more deeply about what to do with media, so it can be more viable. I agree with that. But I'm just saying that if social change is your objective, you will not. Maybe I see differently.
Let me come in here. See, I understand everything you're saying, but I just don't think a lot of people in journalism care as much about social change as you think. That's what I think is.
So maybe I'm I'm over optimistic.
Because then, when you think about the people you mentioned earlier using journalism as a tool and seeking social change, these were affluent people most of the times.
Not necessarily.
Most of them were affluent people who were pushing for social good because of the exposure and the knowledge and the resources they've gained and how they
were
saw
privileged,
the full,
but not necessarily affluent.
That is okay.
Maybe privileged to get education.
I can accept that. I can accept that. But Bernard, my point here is that, and I agree with you that the excellence is more important than the field of profession, and that an excellent journalist, an excellent carpenter is more useful to society than, a lousy doctor or lawyer and all of that. But I also want to make the point rather forcefully and humbly that a hungry journalist is a national security threat.
I agree.
I don't know how I will care about social good when I'm hungry, when my rent is up, when I have medical bills I'm unable to pay. I don't see how people will skip the Maslow's theory of needs and think about social good when their conditions are not in the best of shapes. We, as journalists, we go places, we see things, we see how our work helps people, how our work enriches people. And so, we have a role to play. Yes, we are the conscience of the people. Our job is a social good thing.
With you, but
I just want to make my point so that you can come in, because I know
you have to be careful.
I've heard you a lot on this, but we also need to push the reality a bit. Bernard, if you go to the regions, for example, if you go out of Accra and you talk to journalists, those of us in Accra, we are even better off. If you go to the regions and you see how the conditions under which people are working and the situations, how much they earn, it's not a good thing. So if you want ethical journalists who have integrity, and again, you're saying that, okay, people move to do law and they don't want even to associate with the practice of journalism and all of that. But at the end of the day, social good.
Bro, I'm just saying that, this is what I'm just saying to add to what you're saying, that look, poor pay is not an excuse for being unethical.
That's true.
And I have to be careful, but that's the truth. Because you see,
you don't have to be careful.
There's no profession that does not have challenges in terms of remuneration, generally. Now, the other point is that there's no law that says you should be journalist alone.
True.
You can do other things to support yourself in addition, depending on how your employment conditions are. Right. People do writing, they MC programs, they do ghost things. There are so many things you can do, even do classes teaching as an addition. If you start using poor pay as an excuse for being unethical, somebody can use lack of money as an excuse for being an armed robber. It's the same thing.
No. It wasn't even about the ethics. Just to mention, it wasn't about the ethics. It was about the fact that people transition more to other professions.
No, that's true.
When they're journalists. I can't making justification.
Yes, I can't force people to stay as journalists. True. So thank you for that correction.
Yeah, that one.
Because once you start talking about the push factors, you can leave the person and go and do whatever you want to do. That's fine. In fact, if you start losing passion for the job, don't do it.
True.
Because you become a threat. But when you say that a poor and a hungry journalist is a national security threat.
Yeah.
No, it's an unethical journalist who is a national security threat. So let me qualify it.
Okay.
A hungry anything should not be a national security threat. Is the unethical journalist who should be a national security threat, because hunger should not make you unethical.
Bernard, if people work hard and for months they have not been paid,
they should leave
and
their job.
They keep showing
they should
up.
go to a different job.
No, we should also say that people should be paying.
But teachers
people
are also not paid well. Nurses are also not paid well.
And that's why education system is what it is.
But no,
that's why when you go to the hospital, the nurses behave the way they do.
But Caleb, you cannot.
Because we must also make sure that make the point very forcefully that a worker deserves his wage.
That's true, but Caleb,
and we must not keep people hungry for months.
If a teacher tells you, you go to private schools in urban Accra, teachers are paid 800 cedis a month. If the teacher tells you that because I am being paid 800 cedis a month, I would start collecting money from the students, or I'll start selling them my own handouts and force them to pay. That's unethical behavior.
True.
You can't justify that.
True.
If the work is not paying well, you change your employer, or I'm saying there are labor laws that protect these things. But I'm saying that, you see, once you say you are something, if you say you are a teacher, there are some ethics you must abide by. So if you say you are a journalist, pay is important and pay is critical, but you have no
excuse.
You cannot say that because of that. Do you understand?
I agree.
I understand that people who manage media have to make sure people are paid well, but if you choose to do a profession,
you must stay the course.
You cannot come and say that because I am paid well,
then
I will do this, and then no, that's not right.
That's not proper.
Then go and do a different work.
But I agree. We are not even arguing. We are just making 2 points. One to employees, one to employers. Because I feel that over the period, there's this system also. People give excuses for doing shoddy job. That we must not countenance, which is the point you have made. But I'm also saying that on the balance of the scale, then let's also not put people in the position where they are vulnerable enough to be thinking about other ulterior or...
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
You've been doing journalism for like 12 years.
Yes.
You do a lot of things which give you money outside journalism,
Bernard,
which are not competing necessarily with your journalism.
True.
You MC programs.
Yes.
You do influencer things.
Yes.
You even brand consult.
Yes.
For people.
Yes.
Now that's resourcefulness and that's expanding your net, but you still do your journalism pretty well.
True.
You can say you have the big media house, but even in a small regional ecosystem, if you do your work with integrity, you get a respect. And you can also expand within those concentric circles of emceeing, communication. I'm just saying that if you choose to do a certain job, once that's your profession, it has a cross it comes with.
But I also worked in an international media organization where the things you just described, once you are signing a contract, they are listed there as no lighting.
Good. Yes. And but you see, but that's our we are not international. We are our context is different.
No, but
we want a certain standard.
No.
But we want a certain standard.
a lot of places will not allow you to do that.
So for example, if you go and moderate an economic conference and you get paid for it, what's wrong with that?
No, there's a difference. You look at the number of things you listed him doing in addition to his
he can MC. Work. He can MC. Mm-hmm. What else did he ask?
So I'm just saying. So if he starts, if it starts paying off, the MC starts paying off, and he starts looking for more gigs.
Yeah, but you see, everything has a limit to it. So it's not every event you MC. What I'm saying is that even within your job, there are legitimate things you can do as additional things that are not competing with your work.
Okay, hold on.
Do you get it? So I'm coming. I agree with what you're saying, that there are certain things that cannot be allowed. Why do you think I haven't formed a company?
Why do you think I don't MC?
You don't like it?
No, but I've told you.
Yeah, but so is MCing unethical?
No, I don't MC.
You don't like it?
No, but I've told you that.
But you teach. You go to.
Yes,
if somebody asks you to come and teach or do a special.
What do I teach?
You teach what you know and what you like.
I teach media.
Yeah, but I did economics. So if I go and MC an economic conference, is that not additional to my job?
No, but if for me the teaching falls within what I do for a living.
But if you go and moderate a conference, that's not within what I do for a living.
Oh.
If I moderate a conference on they did 2 days ago, they did a conference.
No problem.
Oh wait, let me no. If you on that, let me explain it. They did a
that.
conference on downstream petroleum. I'm an economic journalist, and I went to moderate a conference on downstream sector issues. Is that not related to what I do?
It is.
Is that unethical?
No.
So what are you saying?
No, the point I'm making is, how many of those do you do in a week that does not impact what you do?
Well, that's the company I work for and my output. Because yesterday I came to do my morning show. I went to give a talk at some place from 10 to 12. I still came back to hold meetings in my office and did my TV show that ended at 10 p.m. I'm still here today.
Yes.
All right. So you can't come and tell me that my external. But the other point is that a lot of those external things you do is also part of your growth. Because if I only sit here,
which is true,
a lot of things I know about certain industries because I've gone to do programs there as a facilitator or moderator.
Yeah.
I'm saying that, but I don't let it compete with my core job as a journalist. Do you understand? Now, if you can prove to an employer that emceeing that event adds to your knowledge, it's not even. It's sometimes not even about money. If you go and sit in a conference,
it's about expanding knowledge.
Let's assume you go to and they say go and facilitate a segment of the education forum. Do you know the level of the contacts you will get? The knowledge you get when you're coming to do a story on education. You get it? So I'm saying that there are ethical, logical ways of expanding your scope without it compromising your job.
So Bernard, question.
So I'm coming, but at the core, I'm still a journalist.
True.
I'm not an influencer. I'm not an MC.
True.
Even today, people come and tell you, come and influence. I say I don't want to do it. I'm not an influencer because in my field of work, your company may even come in. True. As a matter of discussion. True. And I get compromised. So I'm very careful how I do those things. But at the core, it is going back to the center, which is journalism. So what I'm saying is that let's commit to doing what we have to do well. If you say you are going to do it well, it will open doors for you. Now, you need guidance as to what door is acceptable or not. There are certain opportunities I discuss with my boss. Can I do this? You say no. Somebody says come and be an influencer for his car brand. I say I can't do that. It's not because your company is not good. I cannot be an influencer for your car brand because the car industry is still something I'm analyzing, and it may come up one day that your company not be even ethical. So I, as a journalist, cannot do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And because I have a team that works with me, so the problem is that people take their core job for granted to say because I'm not being paid well, I can do anything, including things which can compete with your original core job. So it's not a poverty or poor pay question; it's an ethics question. All right. If you have people who work with you who will make sure that they circumscribe your work to make sure that you keep the main thing, you can succeed in your profession.
But are we saying that journalism is a calling and not a profession? So that if anyone went to a profession, there is a laid down procedure for career progression. There is a certain, entitlements they're entitled to and all of that. Ours, no, it's a social good, so it's a calling.
I don't know. I've not said that.
I will say it's a calling and not a profession.
No.
So that, for example, if I came and did my work as an editor, I did that excellently for 10 years.
Yes.
After 10 years, I can comfortably afford a decent car, pay my children's fees, pay my rents, and after I'm done, I have decent retirement and go to bed.
What I'll say is that there are some professions that place more demand on you and pay less than other professions because of the social good. So if you're a teacher, there are teachers who are wealthy, but it's rare. If you are a nurse, there are nurses who may be wealthy, but it's rare because the job in its nature is sacrificial. Do you get it? Now, if you are an astrophysicist or an engineer, it may also be sacrificial, but because it's a technical skill with limited people doing it, you tend to be paid more, generally, globally. Do you understand? So if you're a teacher, a journalist, or a nurse, you may not necessarily get as much money. Meanwhile, the demands of the job on you are much more.
Yeah.
That's the nature of the job. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you say, is it a calling or a profession? There are professions that don't pay that well because the entry barriers are low. So generally, pay is determined by scarcity. It's demand and supply. So if you are somebody who fixes the turbines in the aircraft, it's a technician job, but it's probably paid more than a doctor in Ghana because the people can do that work and not that many. Do you understand my point? And the entry barriers are also very high. Anybody can get up. I went to an event this week. They invited like 12 journalists. Like 30 people turned up that they were journalists. Half of them didn't even have a proper media house. But they said they were journalists because they were writing some blog or something. How do you regulate that? We are the same people who say we don't need licenses to be journalists. So you can't also say somebody cannot call himself a journalist. There's a guy who's been sending me photos of parts of Accra that are not going well. He's a citizen journalist. He may set up his own blog and become a journalist. Can you prevent him from doing that? No. But I can't get up and start doing medical. I can't get up and start treating people. Okay, so what he's doing is effective. He is taking pictures of like broken down rails, street lights, and sends it to me. He puts on his blog. He's a journalist. He's a citizen journalist. I can't be a citizen doctor. I can't get up and say because when I can diagnose disease, I will be chased out of the profession. So some professions have found a way to keep certain people outside. I think the question for journalists is, we must ask ourselves, anybody who calls himself a journalist, what is the minimum they must have? What is the minimum they must know? What standard are we prepared to hold them to, so that they will not soil our profession? We've not done that. Engineers have done this. Doctors have done it. To an extent, nurses have done it. We haven't. So we are not saying, why is this guy parading himself to be a journalist? Partly because journalism is a tool, it's a social good. Yeah. All right. So somebody can be a lawyer and still call himself a journalist because he's writing every week, and because there's no limit to knowledge. That's the nature of the profession. It's difficult to regulate it. You get it? What we are, the leading lights in the profession to raise the bar. That's the only way the profession can gain the pride of place it has. Otherwise, and as for the pay question, Caleb, I agree with you.
Bernard, it's not even most of the times all about the pay. Sometimes it's even about the structure of the working conditions. Yeah. Do you understand? Because, for example, on holidays we work, on weekends we work. Do you get me? And sometimes as you grow, your priorities even begin to change. So you will come in as a young journalist, you are passionate about what you're doing, that's great. But you realize that you cannot always run on the passion for a very long time. If you're talking about the fact that then it's a knowledge-driven industry also, to be honest, Bernard, being able to leave the office and go and MC a program here and there is a privilege not many journalists will be able to have.
That's
true. Do you understand me? So if I come on TV, I'm doing reports for you. Yeah. Okay, people get to know me. I'm in the neighborhood. Oh, this guy's doing a good job on radio or on TV. They've seen you for 5 years. Every other time you close, you do the news, but you join us with the trotro and we all go home. Yes, you have an experience. You're able to tell a better story. But honestly, it doesn't trickle down. That's what I'm saying.
This is my response as a manager. The companies must become more flexible and amenable to the changing lifestyles of their staff. So, for example, what you can do at Radio Universe as a fresh university graduate is not the same when you are 29, you have a girlfriend, and you are 32, you are married. Yeah. So, smart organizations know that they have to change the way they organize their workspace to meet the living conditions of their staff in a way that makes them still do. So that's a management problem. Yeah. It's not a journalism problem. It's a company problem. So if the newspaper or the media house is not intelligent enough to know that these guys who started with me 5 years ago, their circumstances have changed. What tends to happen is that most of these people just move out because you are not making the workplace flexible enough. For example, a lot of workplaces now have places where you can take care of babies, because they realize that lots of our staff are women who have kids, and therefore you cannot run the place like a secondary school. True. So if you are facing these problems, or if journalists are facing these problems, it means that the organizations they are working for are not evolving. So the organizations will lose their excellence because they will keep losing their best resources. Do you understand? I don't want us to malign journalism. It is the business of media that's the problem. Leadership. And they are two separate things. Journalism is a profession. The business of media is not the same as journalism. The business of media tries to organize journalists to work for it. Mm-hmm. Do you understand?
I get you.
So at the core, myself and Goffey, we are journalists.
Yes.
First.
Yes.
I don't even like to be called general manager because I don't even understand what that is. I am a journalist. I'm not a general manager. Okay. It just so happens that the industry is tough. So sometimes we do multitasking. Or is it tasking? Yeah, tasking, yeah. So, Godfred, the business of media is a field of study people must study. But we have to insist that if you are a journalist, there are minimum requirements of you. Whether you're working for Chronicle,
true,
and you work and you are paid over the table, whatever. And this is the other thing, a lot of these media houses, because they haven't evolved, they've died out.
True.
So a lot of newspaper companies are struggling because their best people have to leave, because at some point they cannot keep taking those small tabletop things. They will move out. The challenge for Ghana is that our journalists work in media houses, and if our media houses are not viable, we will lose all our journalists. That's the real issue. Okay, and we've seen it over the years. I've done this for 20 years. I've seen it. Keeping high capacity journalists working purely as journalists is very, very tough. If they don't find spaces to lecture, to write, you get it? Yeah. They'll all just leave. Yeah. And then what happens? The public space suffers. Now, my argument is that the Ghanaian society itself doesn't value journalism, because if the quality of public discourse is lower, the the quality of public policy suffers. And if the quality of public policy suffers, the quality of public life suffers. So it's public discourse, public policy, public life. Do you get my point? So a society that values advancement of public life must value public discourse. And public discourse is not for eloquent spinners. It's for well-educated, thoughtful citizens. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
I think the Ghanaian society itself does not value that. The Ghanaian society itself does not value rigorous public discourse. I don't even think Ghanaians like the truth. They don't even want the truth. They don't. They claim to do. They want to be tickled. They will send you a text message to complain about this or that or the other. But they don't really value the work of the journalist. They prefer other professions because they are more prestigious. And I say, if you don't raise the platform of public discourse, you don't have a chance. You know why? Because half of the problems you discuss on this show are behavioral problems of the citizen. Bad governance, poor citizenship. If you don't find a way of getting people, musicians, journalists, to keep speaking to the people what they need to do, you can't change the society. The home, the school, the public space. Those three places all are taken over. So your citizens are not driving your development. And you still think it's about spending dollars on building things. A lot of these guys here, even to work here, look at how I have to convince people around you to keep you working here. Ask me if I'm not lying. A lot of times, actually, journalism things on way. Everybody's like, oh no.
All the time.
Everybody wants to settle work.
So when are you going? When are you moving?
But you see, my brother, the society you want to build. Look at Ghana today. Look at your students. Look at the average secondary school students' mindset. Are you telling me that you don't have a platform to try and shape that mindset? Look at your average university student and what they are looking for. Look at your average 20-year-old. Are you telling me that there is no social need for good journalism, good public discussion around the things they do? Because the religious bodies have lost it. They are not teaching the people the right thing. The schools have lost it. If the journalism also loses it, then society has no hope. Do you understand? And somebody has to think about that. If you don't believe, Caleb, you're talking about street lights and things. Everything you discuss at the end of the day, citizens are at the center of the malaise because they become politicians, they become corrupt. Are you telling me that it's only the home that will train that? Is there not a space for this type of thing in national development?
There is.
How come everybody thinks somebody else should do it and nobody should do it because it doesn't pay well? Who should do it? Who should do it? That's the question. Everybody wants to do a settled job, to be driving a nice car and not to dirty their hands, and yet they want to build a country. How do you build a country like that? You don't build a country by everybody being comfortable. Somebody has to pay the price. So yes, we will pay you well, but you also have to pay the price. And the price is increase your knowledge base and work hard. That's the way it works. Otherwise, we are all going to just leave Ghana and go to US and go and be working in cold rooms.
I want to give it.
Send that message to someone.
He landed somewhere.
The person is not listening. Let me read messages, Bernard.
How can the whole generation leave Ghana and be cutting it?
Bernard, it's okay.
I want to give a slight. I think I'm a bit more new in this profession than you guys. So I want to give a perspective. I think when you start, there's this idea about what you are going to do. You are going to be on TV, you are going to be on radio, it's glamorous. I think a lot of
people... If you are writing for a newspaper?
No, I'm just giving an idea. I'm just talking. I don't think people realize how hard some of the work is. What you have to do to get a story through and stuff. The first time I had to go and do a TV story, I thought that you just go and film and then they just put it. Do you get what I'm saying? I didn't know what had to go into... It's part of it. And I think when people come in and then the hard work starts, they are going to feel some way about it, especially when it's not paid well. I think that's a lot of jobs. Because I think when you're from the outside looking in, things look easy. They think that, you just come on radio and talk and do what you want. There's no do you get what I'm saying? I think sometimes that's part of it. And to what Caleb said about the national security threat, I think it more speaks to the power we have as journalists. That if we see something that's wrong, if we talk about it, we can get people to notice. We can actually make a difference. And that's what it means that if someone is not in a situation where they feel they can say no to certain offers, they feel they can have their integrity. Because if you, like Caleb said, your rent is due and someone makes you an offer, you found some scandal, he makes you some offer. You're thinking about your rent. You're thinking,
or even the person you are pursuing a story that's in the interest of the people, and the people threaten you small. Do you understand me? That's what I'm saying. So we need to put the profession at a place where, beyond the sacrifice people are putting in it, beyond the pride that we also have, that our work is changing people's lives and bringing, transformation to the society. After all is done, when I go home, I exactly. I mean, look, Bernard, I was telling you that some of the people who have been appointed today into this government are my mates. And I was telling some of my friends that the cars they drove to work are Samense's car. It's Samense's car. And I'm painting this picture to show that, look, the people who are into whatever are not there because they're better than we are. Yeah. We are mates. And most of the people are also your mates too. Yeah. Do you understand? I'm saying that to be here on the CBS, to do what I do, to get Galamsey to edit videos to people, documentaries, it is a privilege, Bernard. It's a privilege. Yeah. A lot of media people, my level, when we compare ourselves to our peers who are doing other things, not spending as much time as they do, not expending as much and applying themselves. Listen, people love their job. People are sacrificing and make it worthwhile. That's all we are saying.
How long have you been doing this?
Bernard, I did Radio Universe 4 years. I've been here this almost my 10th year. I came here in 2016. So yeah.
9 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
So a lot of your mates, apart from the ones in politics, most of your mates are where?
No, people are in diplomacy. Some are lecturing. A lot of people are
academia.
Yes,
banks.
So after 10, so if you do journalism for 10 years, and your peers who go to do maybe something else do 10 years, when you look at the records, Bernard, it's not a lack of hard work.
Take your time.
No,
when you look at what are you comparing? I want to know what you are comparing with.
Standards of living.
Exactly. It's not too much. People are not even asking for so much.
So do you think you have a lower standard of living than your mates who finished school 10 years ago?
Let me give you an example. When I bought this MacBook,
yes,
I told my friend, I bought a MacBook. She said, hey, how did you buy it? I said, I feel insulted. So I'm sorry. It's not like anything.
The person was asking how you bought it.
I'm telling you.
But because they know that's their mindset.
Because in their minds, journalists are not paid well enough. But that is the truth for many people.
But you bought a laptop.
Yes.
Did you borrow money to buy it?
I didn't use my salary though.
Yeah, but you bought it.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
But is your salary your only source of income?
Oh no.
But
so question, what do you want?
I want a good life. I want a life that's good. Because the other point is that as journalists,
no, what you have.
No, that's not the point. Because Bernard, you see, the other point is that
what you have.
No, it's not like we are not content. We are very content. We are just not satisfied with little.
Yes.
And the point is that every day you send journalists to go interview people, they are producers, they enter spaces, they see what is possible and how comfortable life can be
for some people.
Yes, in their minds they are like, okay, I may not be here, but this is possible.
But
and then they also
maybe we are sending you to the wrong places because we can also send you to places where you see people who don't have anything, and you're supposed to do a story on
Bernard,
them.
I've been working on Accra Baller for more than 3 years.
So I'm just saying,
I know that.
Put that in perspective.
And I'm also saying that.
Yes.
I also know that if I put all my talent and ability and my energies to work at a different venture, that may still be social good, but not journalism. Okay. I may be better off. If that is the reality, if that is the reality, we must meet each other halfway.
We have to be careful that we don't lose your drive because we may think that you. So you're saying that if we don't take care, we'll lose you.
Oh, Bernard.
As a profession, and you go and do PR, or you go and do law, or you go and do diplomacy, or you go and do politics, or you go and lecture.
Let me finish.
Why are all our people in politics?
I want to just finish.
Only few are in politics.
Our people?
Most of them are actually teaching. Politics, you see, we only highlight the few successful ones. So most of our mates are actually in academia and doing stuff like that. Let's read some comments.
I just want to finish what I was saying. So just finish before I go. Yeah. Like Bernard, I understand all the things you're saying, but I think there's the underlying assumption that a lot of people understand that this job is a social good. I feel like a lot of people are not doing this job for social good, and that's where your arguments falls apart to me.
Okay.
Because if most people put in their head, we are come to change the country, I come to do something, they will think about it differently. But people are come to this job, I'm on TV, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make money.
Is that my fault? If you see,
I'm not saying it's your fault, but I'm just saying that
if you have a wrong concept of what the profession is it because we the people in it are painting it wrongly, or the person coming has a wrong assumption about what it is?
That one I'm not saying that it's your fault. I'm just saying that the assumption starting that when people enter there's social good and stuff, that's the first. I think there's a lot of jobs like that. It's the same where we talk about even doctors and nurses. A lot of people want to be doctors. They are thinking about their money. They're not thinking about, I want to help people, I want to do this. And I'm not saying it because I have a problem. Like a lot of jobs, they don't think about this.
Which is
lawyers and there's the lawyers you complain about is the same thing.
So maybe our educational system and our family is missing a trick, because I think the way what you highlight in the home and what you highlight at school determines how they see. For example, in your house, scholarship is admired, right? So you grew up valuing academia. So if you took an average paying job in a university teaching, your parents will still be proud of you, and you know you've done a great job, even though you may not be paid that well. So what I'm saying is that sometimes the perception people have about whether journalism is a sacrificial job or not, or whatever, is because of the way they were trained and oriented. There's also a generation that believes that because the older generations have failed us, we have to make ends meet. Yeah. Okay, that is legitimate, but that is not everything. Yeah. Because making ends meet can also happen whilst you also create social good. Yeah. If you come into a profession with the wrong mindset that this is my path to riches, that one is wrong. And we cannot be blamed if your expectations are not met, because that's not the purpose of the profession.
But I'm just saying that a lot of jobs and a lot of young people, I don't think a lot of young people are concerned about society like that. I think that's something a lot of people get when they are older. Some people have it when they are young. But I feel like a lot of people, they just want to enjoy life, and maybe when it's later, like, hey, this society is not where it should be, and they get that idea. So I feel like this happens for a lot of jobs. I think journalism is one. I think because of the visibility, because you see all these journalists as you are growing up on TV, your parents are watching the news, they are doing here, thinking, hey, everybody will know me one day, that kind of thing. That's why some people enter journalism. They don't think about what the person is actually doing. And I'm not just saying it to say that to say that it doesn't mean, but you get what I'm saying. So for that, I just feel like sometimes you also have to consider the fact that a lot of people are not doing jobs for quote unquote the right reasons. Correct. Which is why they can get into a job and become easily disillusioned, and then they realize that, I have all access to all these politicians.
Then they start,
I can help them cover up stories, I can help them do this, and I can get that standard of living I was looking for in the end. So I think just making it more apparent that some jobs, there's a lot of sacrifice, there's a lot of hard work, and there's not as much glamour as you think.
And also paying people better.
Yeah.
100%. I'll take a short break. I'm coming to talk about money with Affinity Savings and Loans. So when I'm done with them, I'll read your comments, because the WhatsApp portal is blowing up. So I'm going to do a very well-deserved conversation with our guests from Affinity Savings and Loans, who have some really great products for us, hopefully to help your personal finances. And then when we come back from there, we'll read your reactions to the discussion about jobs. I don't even know how did we get here? I have no idea.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Enhance your business operations with the HP LaserJet Pro MFP 4103DW printer. You can print, copy, and scan up to 40 pages per minute with high-quality mobile scans or customizable shortcuts in the HP Smart app that delivers effortless use from wherever you work, so you can focus on growing your business. Take advantage of its professional quality laser and Wi-Fi direct printing, which are both designed to simplify your day. With the HP LaserJet Pro MFP 4103DW printer, experience fast and easy setup and improved overall printing efficiency with a 80,000 page duty cycle, built to keep you and your business secure and moving forward, with embedded security that is pre-configured out of the box to detect and stop attacks. The HP LaserJet Pro MFP 410DW printer is available at all Compute Ghana stores. Call 0302 752 020 or visit any nearest Compute Ghana store to you for more information.
Protect yourself from germs and bacteria with confidence. Cleanse hand soap effectively kills 99.9% of germs with every use. Perfect for all your hand washing moments throughout the day. Available in a variety of variants and delightful flavors. Choose Cleans for yourself, your family, and friends. Make Cleans your daily essential. The GC brand. It's all about you. This advert is FDA approved.
In the Chest of a Woman, a stage play written by Efo Kojo Maugbe is showing again by popular request. It's sensational. It's hilarious.
Enough! You slept with me. I never slept with you. You had me. I never you untied me. You're lying to the theater, John. You
Hey! Takura phone and Trodia.
Join Clemento Suarez, General Intatia, Akofa Ijani, Biola Samoa, Edina Matachi, and more on 28 February, 1st and 2nd March 2025, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day at the National Theatre. Tickets are going for 100 Ghana cedis for students, 200 Ghana cedis for regular, and 300 Ghana cedis for VIP. To purchase tickets, dial *713*33*10#. Supported by AE Cinemax, Enterprise Insurance, UNESCO, McPhillips Foods, and Verna Water. In the Chest of a Woman returns bigger, bolder, and better. Powered by Africa Arts Network.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
It's magical.
It's 9:35 on the Citi Breakfast Show. We will read your comments shortly, but I have friends from Affinity Savings and Loans in studio. Tarek Mugani is here to tell us about the Affinity journey, financial inclusion, and how they can unlock finance for great development. Tarek, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Thank you, Bernard. Thanks for having me.
I like the name Affinity Africa. A name like that for a financial institution is not very common.
No, it's not actually. And I remember when we were setting it up quite a few years ago, we were looking at a number of names.
Okay.
And when we showed people the name Affinity, we didn't tell them it was going to be a bank.
Okay.
And when we showed them Affinity or a financial institution and we showed them the logo, it's when we saw people smile.
Yeah, it's more calming.
It is.
It could actually be a name for a hospitality service.
Look, it's supposed to be inclusive, right? And
I get
the
it.
point of affinity is if I have an affinity towards you and you have an affinity towards me, you know, a banking relationship is something that's supposed to be synergistic for both parties. We exist because of our customers, right?
Okay.
Not because of anything else.
How different is Affinity Africa from other traditional banks?
So I would look at the existing players in the market. We're very different in the sense that we target a different market. We were built to bank the majority. That was the most important thing. And we see ourselves as a bridge between mobile money players and the incumbent financial institutions, and we slot in the middle.
Okay.
And we look at three pillars that we focus on within internally. So all our comms, all the marketing that we do, all the investments that we raise is around three values.
Okay.
First is the accessibility of our product, making it very easy for people to access their product. The second is affordability as well too. So we're the only financial institution where all our accounts are free.
Okay.
So no monthly fees, no transaction charges,
Really?
which is very important. And on top of that, we have interest-bearing accounts as well too, which is very important as well too for us.
Serious?
And then the third, which is very important as well too, is we want to build trust with our customers. So we have full transparency in how we actually communicate our products to them. So if you were to download the app, which hopefully, Bernard, at the end of this conversation you will, I'll send you a referral code because I can make some money off of that as well too.
Okay. Okay.
The back of that, you can understand that we take you through a journey where we explain to you what financial services are, what interests mean as well too, and we're fully transparent with everything that we do.
That's quite interesting. So you are basically different in the place you sit in the ecosystem and then in the way you treat your customers and the way you do business.
Absolutely. We're here for them.
All right. Now, you raised an $8 million seed round. What does that funding mean for your company and where does it place you?
So even before getting onto the company part, there's one thing that I have to say as Ghanaians that makes me very proud.
Okay.
You know, if you take a look at venture capital funding, which is where we raise this funding from, so impact funds and venture capital funds, majority of funding doesn't come to Africa. At the peak of venture capital funding, only 3% came to Africa. At the moment, it's less than 1.5% of global venture funding. Then on top of that, over 80% goes to 4 countries, and Ghana is not one of those 4 countries. So when the announcement came out last Tuesday, the first headline article, what made me laugh, it said, "Finally, some news from Ghana." So what I wanted to say is this is a very proud moment for us because it's a large seed round, you know, in absolute terms. But it's nice to have Ghana on the map because we are an important country in the African ecosystem. We're an important country. We've led basically financial inclusion and innovation across Africa. Like, I mean, we're one of the biggest mobile money players, which is hugely important in our part of the world as well too. So it was a very proud moment for me as a Ghanaian to announce that, you know, Ghana is finally on the map as a tech ecosystem because we have amazing tech players here in the market. What it means for us as a business is it's growth. That's the most important thing. You know, we launched officially our campaign last October, towards the end of last October. We've grown our customer base by 3 times.
Wow.
You know, in the space of just a handful of months, which was important. And this funding will help us see growth to reach basically all of Ghana and Ghanaians.
So it's interesting this is seen as a tech investment, not as a finance investment. I guess it's because of where you sit in the mobile money space.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your mobile money presence and how you fit into the financial ecosystem broadly.
Absolutely. You know, and it's so funny because, you know, are we a bank that uses technology, or are we a technology company with a banking license or a financial institution license? I think we're the latter. You know, we have a tech team that builds, which is international.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I like the way it sounded.
So, you know, normally banks will have digital services, right? A bank will be able to launch an app, but they're very based on bricks and mortar. We flipped everything on its head. So we decided that we are actually a technology company that has a license, which is very important.
Wow.
And even though it's the same thing, because we're very well regulated, we're well governed, you know, these things are very, very important as a financial institution, it's the approach that we take to solving problems for our customers that's important. And I'll tell you why. Our typical customer, like almost 90% of Ghanaians, we're hustlers. We work long hours, right? 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. each night. If that woman leaves her place of work and goes to a bank branch or deals with any, you know, even to pay her bills, anything like that, revenue goes to zero. She's a sole proprietor. So we thought, how can we use technology as a way of giving access to these products, which is very important. Mobile Money did a great job doing that as well too. In the payment spaces, we decided to take it a step further, and we look at it from the point of banking. So providing savings accounts, and very importantly as well to loans, because that's how we monetize our platform.
This is incredible. We're speaking to Tarek Mugani, who's the, what are you, CEO?
Founder.
Of Affinity Savings and Loans. And they've raised the $8 million seed round. They're a technology company that has a banking license or a financial license. So basically, it's the technology that drives the value. Now, financial inclusion is a big issue in Africa. How are you addressing this challenge?
So it's actually 3 things, which I kind of touched on a little earlier on. So historically, financial inclusion has been centered around access, making it very easy for the person to get the product. So we obviously have that, because if you download our app, and please do, dial *229# and you can download our app, or get onto the app stores, either Google or iOS, and to download the app, you'll notice that you can open an account instantly.
Okay.
So what you do is you download the app, you take a selfie, you scan your Ghana card, and within a moment, basically, you get a text message that your account is open. You can start basically saving and building your credit score to access a loan. So accessibility was very important. And that's historically what we took it 2 steps further, because we define financial inclusion within Affinity as 3 things. One is access. Second is affordability, which is very important. So all our accounts for free, as I said, no monthly fees, no transaction charges. We have full interoperability. You can transfer money in and out to any bank account or mobile wallet, all for free. And then the third thing as well too is the ability to be able to bank with us. So as you go through the journey of onboarding, we explain everything to you. When you open a high interest rate savings account, like one of our fixed deposits or future accounts, we explain to you interest, 10-year, all that. When you apply for a loan as well too, we have full transparency in everything, because that financial inclusion element of explaining very transparently what fees are, what charges are, when you look at things like that, is also something that's very important, because it's an empowerment to our customers.
I like the access, affordability, and then the banking. You also mentioned transparency. So let's talk about your instant loan feature. What is it and how does it work?
So when you start your journey with Affinity, you download the app, you open an account, and by the time I leave here, you'll be a customer, Bernard, right?
Yes.
There we go. We have it in writing now. What will happen as soon as you start using the product is we start building its credit score, and we use artificial intelligence for that. So we get to know you very, very well as a customer, and we know basically if you're creditworthy or not. And hopefully with you and your big job here, you're very creditworthy. So what happens after 30 days?
Not all that glitters.
Yeah, I can show you as well too on the app. But what happens basically after 30 days is you end up getting a credit score out of 800. And depending on your credit score and how good a customer you are, it doesn't mean that you have to have a lot of money. It means you have to be consistent in savings, which is very, very, very important. It's sort of like being an athlete. You know, if you're an athlete, you can't just run a marathon tomorrow, right? You have to train consistently every single day. You don't train once a week a lot of times. You train every single day very consistently. So same thing with banking. So you start saving with us, you build a credit score, and you get access to instant loans.
Wow.
We're the cheapest instant loan on the market. And with this funding that we just unlocked, and as we scale, the plan is to be one of the cheapest lenders in Ghana.
You've said a lot of things. You're saying the accounts are free and there are no charges.
That's right.
And then you also said you have the cheapest instant loan. So how do you make your money?
From lending.
Just from
Don't
lending?
forget, we're not bricks and mortar. We don't have branches like traditional banks, right?
Okay.
We use technology.
Mm.
We built all the technology ourselves using an entirely Ghanaian team of developers.
Yeah.
We understand the problem. We know how to solve for this problem as well, too.
Wow.
And by using technology, we've kept our costs very, very low. And what happens when we reduce our costs? We pass the savings to the customer.
So you don't need to do all those extra charges?
No, we don't
Because
need to.
the technology reduces...
Exactly. And
So-
because we use agents and we use a mobile app, we don't have branches. You know, we have full access. You can use you can transfer money from mobile money into your wallet. You can go to any mobile money agent to do that as well too.
So that's a different way of doing the financing business.
It is. It's very complementary to what exists in the market right now.
Which then means that the value comes to your customer.
100%.
Because I think the cost structures of a lot of banks is very high.
Absolutely.
And that's why it's even expensive to get money.
Absolutely.
Because they have to push all these people to pay them fat salaries.
And also they don't lend as well too, right?
They can't because they're also either lending to government or the cost of funds are so high from wherever they get the money.
Absolutely. And then the second thing I wanted to say, one of my mentors years ago, you know, I left Ghana when I was 12. I studied in the UK. I came back about 13 years ago now. One of my mentors was the former head of Standard Chartered Africa. You know, this amazing woman. And she was one of my mentors. And she told me the problem basically as they were trying to bank here in Ghana. She's since left Standard Chartered. She joined Google actually. She told me one of the biggest issues is having no credit rating is just as bad as having a bad credit rating. So a lot of these people who are excluded from formal financial services, what we're doing is we're empowering them using data, using full transparent metrics to tell them this is who you are and this is what you can achieve basically using our product. We exist solely for them.
Now this is really interesting. What kind of impact have you made? By the way, how old is the company?
So we bought a microfinance business in 2020.
Oh wow!
We got our
COVID.
Yes, during COVID, I know. At that time, actually, we applied to get our upgrade to a savings and loans company. We didn't get the license upgrade until 2022.
Okay.
Then we got our app approved by the Bank of Ghana last year in 2024. We launched the app on the App Store in May last year. And then from end of October onwards, we started putting out our campaign.
Wow.
So the real growth came last year when the app was out.
So it's been a 4-year journey.
It has been a very patient journey with a lot of building. We've been building for 4.5 years.
And the company belongs to Ghanaians.
It is.
Wonderful. So what's next? You've gotten your 8 million, your app is working, people are signing up. What's the next level?
So our focus is on Ghana. So at the moment we have our app out on the market, which is very important. Soon we'll be launching business banking. So if you're a small business, for a business like ours, because I mentioned to you earlier on, when we reduce our costs, we pass our savings to our customers. The ultimate goal in the next 3 years is to actually be the cheapest lender in the Ghanaian market, to be able to provide growth capital to small businesses. And the reason that's very important for us is because that's what encourages socioeconomic growth. We have a lot of small businesses and we have so many customer stories that are amazing. People who have bored with us over time, and after they get their first loan, which is working capital, they get access to longer term loans that are growth capital. They've gone to invest in their businesses. They've gone to increase their revenue by 500%. They've gone to employ people as well too, which actually drive socioeconomic growth basically in Ghana.
So beyond beyond lending, do you do savings products?
We do. So we have 3 products on the deposit side. We have a transactional account, like I said, is completely free.
So-called current account.
Exactly. Exactly. We have a savings account that provides 10% interest. And you can transfer money from your savings account to your transactional account at any one point in time. And then the third thing is we have fixed deposits as well too. We call them future accounts.
That's what I was thinking of.
We have 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year on that. And it's instant. It's as low as 500 CDs, you can open one, and you just do it on the app. You get a text message, an app notification, and a PDF for your certificate as well, so it's all instant.
Is it something? Can you vary the amount as you get more income?
Yes. So the longer the tenure, the higher the amount, the more interest you get. And on the app itself, as you play around with it, you'll see the different features change.
I think that's key because our savings culture is poor.
It is.
So if we have and the truth is, most people with mobile money now make a lot of expenses.
Yes.
So if I have an app that can also help me, that can encourage me to save.
Yeah. And
I think it will help my personal financial discipline.
And absolutely. And you know what also was very important? One of the features that we have in the savings account is you can create different pots. So for example, you can have within the savings product, you can have 5 different pots. You can have a pot for your daily savings.
Yeah.
You can have a pot to save for your kids for school.
Mm.
For let's say a holiday that you want to take, maybe for some stock for your business as well too. You can create different pots as well too beyond the fixed deposits. And I don't know if I can demonstrate it. Maybe I can do a demo.
No, please do. Actually, I'm interested.
Let me log into the app, and what I'll do is I'll open a fixed deposit.
Just like that.
Yes, I'll call it Bernard. I'll do it in 3 months, and at the end of these 3 months, what I will do is using the interest that I get from my fixed deposit, I'll come and buy you lunch. How about that?
That's amazing.
Okay, great.
Wow, this is a demonstration.
Okay, so I'm logging into my app. I think we're on.
Yes, we're on streaming.
So
Yeah.
as you can see here,
it's mentioning your name. Hello, it knows who you are.
Yeah, exactly. It knows who I am. It knows exactly who I am. And so you can see here, these are all my accounts, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to create an account. I'm going to add an account. I'm going to add a future account. Which
Correct.
is our fixed deposits.
Yeah.
Click on that. I get up to 22% interest.
Are you serious?
Yeah, of course. So let me click continue. I'm
Right
going to call
off
it
the bat.
Bernard.
Yes.
Bernard. There we go. That's Bernard.
Yes.
Continue. So I'm going to fund it from my current account. You can fund it from your savings account too.
Yes.
I'm going to fund it from my current account. I'm going to put 500 CDs.
Nice.
I'm going to do 91 days. For 500 CDs, 91 days, you see it gives you 17% interest.
Of course, because
Okay?
it's less than a year.
Exactly.
Calculating
You can do,
that.
look, for 182, 365.
So it's like a ready reckoner.
Oh, yeah.
It's very easy for you
So this
to.
this is the financial sort of inclusion we talk about. There is an amount of ability to, it teaches you. Through product, basically, we do inclusion. So I can roll over my principal amount. I don't roll over. I just redeem investment. I continue. I'm going to enter my PIN to continue. There we go. So now it's processing. So as we take a look at the app, why don't we count together and see how long it takes? But it's about to pop up now, and it'll show me that the
5,
account has been opened.
4, 3, 2, 1.
There we go.
0.
So
Wow.
it took 4 seconds, right?
Incredible.
So, and look, I got a text message from Affinity saying that it's happened as well too, that it has been created. So if I go now to view all my accounts, I go to my future account.
So I don't even need a
Bernard.
relationship manager to call and
You
be
don't need
asking all these
anyone.
questions.
So you can do this at 2 in the morning. It's 24 hours banking. If
So
you want
Tarek,
to.
I like this. The only thing I'll say is this is good. So you've created an account,
So
right?
look, and
When
look,
will I
it's now
know?
called Bernard. So
Yes.
you can see it's now on the platform.
500.
At 500, you click Bernard. It shows you the maturity, end to maturity, when it expires, everything, and you can download the certificate as well too as a
And this is
PDF.
both iOS and Android.
yeah.
I like it.
Thank you. You can even use our USSD to do this, by the way.
What if I get confused? Is there a toll-free number I can call?
There is.
Helpline.
So on the app itself, if you go onto support, there's a toll-free number that you can call. There's also chat. We have a verified Affinity Ghana. You can see it's verified, and you have a chat basically that you can go through on WhatsApp as well too, and it's all free.
You've almost sold me. Just before
Well,
you.
why almost, Bernard?
Because I need to. I'll do it myself.
I didn't show you the last thing, and you give me feedback, please. I hope.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then let me show you the last thing. If you click onto loans, you can see basically my credit score. I've got 762. It's not a perfect score. I'm sorry, team, but it's 762 out of 800 is my credit score, and it has told me now that I can borrow up to 5,000 CDs instantly. So similar to how I opened this certificate fixed deposit that I told you, the future account, you do the same thing within an instant. I can get up to 5,000 CDs as well too.
So even if I don't need a loan now, once I sign on based on my interactions with the app, I
Exactly.
build a certain financial profile.
And you don't have to save a lot of money. You just have to save regularly.
All right. I just want to ask the final question. Usually, there's a whole poor payment culture. People don't want to pay back. And therefore, a lot of the banks, the interest rates are high because of the provision for what they call bad loans. We also know that people do some of the quick loans and they try and not pay. So how are you balancing that? And how are you going to make sure that people pay? Or if people don't pay, what lengths do you go to? Because that's actually an issue.
Absolutely.
People don't want to pay.
So the most important thing here is that we have a credit score, which
Yeah.
most of the banks don't.
Mm.
And it's very important to understand that as part of a reward for banking with us is this loans product. But your whole journey starts with savings.
All right.
So since inception, since we've been giving out loans, we've given out over $15 million worth of loans.
Wow.
And our default rate has been less than 3%. And then the second thing to mention as well too, we launched our instant loan product last summer,
Mhm.
and our NPL has been less than 1.5%.
Wow.
Because our customers understand that this is an affinity towards us, an affinity towards them. That, we're there to financially empower you, we're there to provide you with affordable loans, we're there to provide you with free bank accounts and savings products so we can make you financially independent. Because if you're not financially independent, then when it comes to inclusion around education, around healthcare, around affordable energy, all the stuff that's very important in our culture ends up not becoming something that you're enabled to do.
So finally, how can people get more information about Affinity Africa? How did they sign up?
So you can call our number. It's on our website, affinityafrica.com or affinityghana.com, and you can just download our app, which is on the Play Store and also the iOS Store.
And the app is called
Affinity Ghana.
Affinity Ghana. AFFINITY.
Exactly. Or you can dial *229#, put your phone number in, and you'll get a text message to download the app as well too.
Thank you, Tariq. Great talking to you. Really interesting insights on how this technology company is revolutionizing finance. Less than 4 years in Ghana. Really, really incredible stuff. So check them out. *229# or simply go to the Play Store and look for the Affinity Africa, Affinity Ghana app.
Team and customers.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Yes. So thank you. We'll be right back with your messages. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
Looking to give your special one an electrified Valentine's gift? Electroland is here with Electro Love offers. From top best brands to Hope in Love discounts and freebies, we got you sorted. With $8.99 Ghana cedis, you can blast into your favorite love tunes with Nasco Home Theatre. Enjoy a chilled night with our Nasco 1.0 AC at 3,499 Ghana cedis. How about a TCL bedside fridge to cool your favorite champagne at a cool 2,299 Ghana cedis? Surprise the love of your life with a 9 kg Samsung twin-top semi-auto washing machine at 3,999 Ghana cedis. Don't forget to join our Chedia Kesia promo to win amazing weekly and monthly giveaways. Visit our showrooms across Ghana to enjoy. Electroland, home of affordable electronics and appliances.
So what goes into building quality structures? I mean, literally, what goes into it? Wujaf, you don't want to be sitting here somewhere worrying whether or not you did a really good job. It'd be a very simple equation. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, massa, forget it. Don't start cry. Menye, diamond cement has been providing builders, block makers, and construction companies that peace of mind for years. Diamond cement is 42.5 R grade cement. Unbeatable quality made right here in Ghana. And because we have your pocket in mind, we provide 32.5 R grade so that everybody getting on. No long talk, Jack. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, don't start. Locate Diamond Cement Ghana Limited nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrade, and Buipe, or call 0244-313-368 or 0540-111-978 or 0202-021-175. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond.
Are you ready for the road trip of a lifetime? All is set to explore 14 amazing regions of Ghana on the Heritage Caravan 2025. Dive deep into the rich Ghanaian culture through the food, the music, the history, and the captivating traditions. From the 2nd to the 9th of March 2025, you will experience the road trip of a lifetime. Build connections, network, and share unforgettable memories with fellow adventurers.
An opportunity to see Ghana in a more beautiful, and the people, the connection, incredible.
The Heritage Caravan will smoothly drive through the Greater Accra region, Eastern, Volta, Uchi, Northeast, Upper East, Northern, Savannah, Bono, Bono East, Ahafo, Ashanti, Western North, Western, and Central regions.
The places we visited, the road trip itself was awesome.
Everything was good, yes. Even the Bui Dam was very educational.
Throughout the 8 days on the road, groove to authentic live band music on the wheels with the melodic In Chin Chin Band. The Heritage Caravan 2025 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay updated. Follow all Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM social media handles for updates and join the conversation with the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2025. The Heritage Caravan 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV in partnership with the Ghana Tourism Authority with support from 97.3 City FM and proudly sponsored by the National Lottery Authority, Holland Insurance, Omni Basic Bank, Goyle PLC, GB Foods, Standard Water, Apollonia City, and Beaver Beverages. Terms and conditions apply.
First impressions matter. Make yours unforgettable with the irresistible scent of Princess Body Mist and Roll-On. Designed for every lady who wants to leave a lasting impression wherever she goes. And for our gentlemen, there is Style Up Perfume and Roll-On. Elevate your presence with a confident, masculine fragrance that keeps you dry and fresh all day. Because your fragrance should speak before you do, use Princess Body Mist and Roll-On and Style Up Perfume and Roll-On. Your daily essentials for smelling good from dawn till dusk. Princess and Style Up. Smell good and feel great together. The GC brand. It's all about you. This advert is FDA approved.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Royal Kingdom Estate is offering you litigation-free land, which is available at some very, very prime locations. We do land acquisition, construction, design, property management, and more. We are at Cantonment opposite Soul Clinic International. Call 055-755-5909. Send us an email at info at the Royal Kingdom Estate. Royal Kingdom Estate, building communities, nurturing dreams. All right, Caleb, read a couple of final messages before Lady Z takes over the platform.
Okay. So.
All right, okay. Or too many things.
Yeah, there are too many.
Okay, then
when I was little, I wanted to be a journalist.
Don't worry.
Okay, so
there's no
time is up.
We will deal with that on a different day. Thank you for your messages anyhow. The Back to Your Village Food Festival is happening on the 29th and 30th of March at AMA forecourt from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. And if you want to be a vendor, call 05589 73973 or 0205973973. You can vend foods from the northern, central, western, or southern zone. Yes, so that's all we have time for. Zoe.
Mr. Avle.
Zoe Abubedu Ado. Charlie, today Caleb wanted to swallow me.
The fire left.
Charlie, the fire, Charlie. Free your mind and go home, Charlie. That's the whole story. Will you be at the bazaar?
Oh, certainly.
And the thing you put, I think you had a stand last time.
Yes.
I want some of that thing.
I will. You don't have a problem. I will even deliver ahead of.
Charlie, you did. I believe you. I believe you. You all need extra income. So Zoe has City News at 10. Take it up.
Coming up, Clock Sack begins nationwide strike over appointment.